Come, I'll show you the sweetest delight in the garden. As a surprise for Adam.
Really?
Come.
All right.
Here.
But this is the one tree in the garden we cannot touch. This is the forbidden fruit.
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Surely not.
We may eat the fruit of any tree in the garden, except for the tree in the middle of the garden. God has forbidden us to either touch or eat the fruit of that tree, for if we do, we shall die.
You believe that nonsense? Of course you will not die. God knows that as soon as you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you and Adam will be like gods yourselves.
Moments one day will reach the level of the avatars that we have read about in history, the Buddhas, Jesus.
Infinite One's God.
You ancient serpent, you cast your spell up on this planet with your graven images and your wishes to be worshipped. Witches and warlocks flock like Harry Potter fans, waiting for your new age plan to spread across the land. You got the masses dumped down where you want them, convinced that you don't exist, and now you got them atheists. Some even think they're evolving to a godlike level above and beyond human. These Luciferian lies feed on ego and pride. They come disguised as an angel of light, like the original sin and the first deception. The tree in the garden, don't you see the connection? It's the same old lie that he used back then at the beginning of time, at the fall of man. Have we forgotten the truth within the book of Genesis? Ignorant of the nature of sin, so we dismiss written words of God as an irrelevant myth, but then embrace all these new age thoughts of nonsense.
It's not good or bad. There's no God waiting to punish you because you did what you've done.
There is no God in doing Everyone's God. Welcome to the kingdom of heaven, without judgment, without hate, without testing, without anything.
I call my practices that pagan worshiping in fact exists. See through the smoke and the mirrors and the mist. From Atlantis to the Miriam fanatical myths, to the UFO connection with the German SS. Secret society elitists from the east and the west. Illuminati and Masonics had it all connect. Satanic worship to the depths we don't want to admit. It's a globalized illusion that we gotta correct. Check the symbols and signs like the all-seeing eye. Read the Bible facts to understand the great design. See the writing on the wall, we're living in end times. And even the elective now bought into the lie. Real Satanists are dressed up in their suits and ties, eating the fruit like these fools who think they are divine. They aren't evolved, they're just blinded by ego and pride, living a lie that disguised like Jekyll and Hyde. Can you deny that these times were all prophesied? Read Matthew 24:24, you decide.
There's no such thing as good or bad. Judging things aren't superficial. There are things that I do that I know that involve me. There are other things that do not involve me. It's not good or bad. There's no problem.
All right. What's going on, everyone? Steve JMO. It is the 15th of April, 2020. So they say. And I got
Tell us.
Jen, the True Seeker 69 in the house tonight. What's up, Jen?
Hi, guys.
How you doing today? What's going on in Alabama?
Alabama slammer. Not much. We had a beautiful day. Barely anything in the sky. There was a few clouds off in the distance that may or may not have been real. They looked pretty real, so I'm going to go with real for today. It was chilly, but it was beautiful and clear, and the greenery, everything that's bloomed is so green and vibrant right now, and it's just amazing out there. Like, you can actually see the shine on the new leaves and stuff. I love that. My sinuses on the other side, my allergies and everything are going crazy. I even noticed in the video I made earlier, you could see my sinuses are swollen. Right up in here, I get swallow when my sinuses get agitated. And I was like, oh my gosh, I look like I got hit with a baseball bat or something. Like I have an egg on my head. But other than that, I love this weather. Spring is my favorite time of the year anyway, and that's when I have the worst allergies, but I love it because everything's in bloom.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was pretty nice out of my neck of the woods. It was a little windy. It was damn cold, and it's still it's still rather cold out, I'll tell you that. But yeah, it's looking all right outside. Wasn't too many like crazy chemtrails, but it wasn't bad. The stars are out right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Brian messaged me earlier, said he was seeing something weird in the sky with the one we're calling Venus, I guess. And then something else should have been in another position, but it wasn't. I wasn't really getting everything what he was saying, but I did send him my video I took because it was still sort of daylight, but Venus is known as the morning star and the evening star. And we know it's not even Venus anyway. But it was right there and it was still daylight kind of. So I thought that was a cool shot to get of it because usually we just get it with the blackness of the sky.
I feel what he's saying though, because like I said, I just went to go get a coffee at the store a couple miles away, and on my way back, my way back is I'm driving west, so I'm looking at the sky that way where quote unquote Venus or whatever you want to call it comes up out of. But dude, yeah, like all the stars are in a weird spot today. It was mad weird. They're all lining up rather strangely. Like you had Venus, the Orion belt, that blinking blue star, and like some other star just in a straight ass line, like a astrological alignment per se. You know, it was strange.
I think that does happen sometimes. You know, the celestial. We showed the celestial heavens and how they're in circles above us. You know, so this whole thing is turning above us, but within itself, it has cycles. You know, the dome is. I don't know exactly how the dome works in that respect with the stars and the night and the day and how it traverses the sky. It almost seems like the stars. Okay, so say the crystalline part of the dome is above us, right? Where it's, you know, the rocket hits it. It's like boop. You know, it's kind of like it's not so solid that it would crash the thing, but it's not so gelatinous that it would go right through it neither. So it's kind of that in between state. But the stars may be up there in the fluid part of the crystal dome, where we're seeing where it looks like fluid going over them, you know, like we showed water in a pool, how it glistens over. The stars seem to have that ripple effect to it. No pun intended with my channel, but it does have that ripple effect going across the stars sometimes, leading us to believe that it's like a watery kind of effect. And that might be that part of the crystal that's in the water state or whatever.
You're 100% right. The stars are acting.
And they would flow through that part of the dome to come around. You see what I'm saying? But dome itself, the part that we would hit if we went up is more solid than the part that they're floating around in up there, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, you know, you read I think Psalms 19, in his the firmament showeth his handiworks, you know, and then Genesis, the firmament separates the waters from the waters.
Yeah, so that would be I would say like the crystalline waters above the dome. It's in a liquid crystal form.
Right, and Marika here in the chat says there's 4 planets in alignment today, so there's that. You know, I was just saying shit was lined up, and there you go.
When these energetic beings line up, it's super high energy. And the powers that be who use the occult knowledge, the hidden knowledge, they keep all this for themselves. That's why they perform their rituals on these dates, because they already know it's a high energy alignment. So they're going to harness that energy, just like as if we're trying to harness energy from water to create electricity or whatever, or coal to produce heat or energy or whatever. They're harnessing it, and they're using it for nefarious intentions. We could harness this energy too, but we don't know this hidden knowledge. This hidden knowledge is like a knife. You can use a knife to, you know, cut a carrot up, or you can use a knife to kill somebody. But it doesn't mean the knife itself is bad. So a lot of this hidden knowledge is hidden not just because it's satanic. It's the satanic people who are using this knowledge to their benefit and keeping us in the dark about our true nature and how we are powerful ourselves and we have direct connections to this stuff. A lot of people feel, the people who are hypersensitive can feel these high energy alignments and ley lines. And, if they're doing a ritual on a ley line intersection where two nodes intersect, that's a high energy point. And then they got the alignment going on and they really want to get forth and manifest whatever it is that they're trying to put forth or bring forth. They have all this juice behind it. It's like nitrous in a car. You hit that button, it's like, so that's what we're dealing with here. And people don't realize, they're just doing rituals. They're just worshiping Satan. They're harnessing energy at the same time. And when they have, like, say, a mega ritual like 9/11 where everybody was tuned into it, or they have a mega ritual like a halftime show where everybody's tuned into it, they're also sucking your energy into it too. So it's like super duper powerful.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's why every year on September 23rd, people think the world's going to end, because there's a incredible alignment in the sky every single year. And that's something that the gatekeepers use to their advantage to keep people, keep the deception real. I'm not saying, let's say something does happen on that day, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's the lesser days like today no one talks about, like there's 4 planets aligned, like you bet right now this is in the 13 days of sacrifice. They have 13 days right now to get up with it, and you believe they're going to use that today. It's not going to be public. It's not going to be like, they just mowed down 4,000 people in Central Park for social distancing. It's not nothing like that. It's about all the missing people that are going to end up happening over the next couple of days that never even get reported or investigated on. Yeah. That's the crazy part. It's crazy.
I agree.
Absolutely. But I was just looking on Facebook, and Carla shared some crazy picture of Venus and whatnot. Cool. It's pretty much the stuff that we've been getting. I don't know if I was on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. I don't even know, but a bunch of people with iPhone 8s are catching what I'm catching. Like, it's the description in the video are like iPhone 8 stars, and that's just, it's impossible. It's impossible. Like, I never caught stars on my camera before, and I'm always out on my camera. I'm always looking up. Just recently, over the last 3 months, this has been happening. And then what happens out of nowhere? Coronavirus, curveball.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely. But
I sent you something, just more predictive programming, just to show people even more, because I'm going to drive this point home as we go forth into this show here. But predictive programming for this coronavirus, just like 9/11, goes back far in time here. We're only going to go back right now to the 2012 Olympics that took place in the UK. And I sent you that in a message, Steve. They've known about this. They knew they were going to roll this out. They knew this is what it was going to look like, all the stuff, and all the stuff was ready to go. And also, don't get it twisted, they are already 20, I'm being mild here, 20 steps ahead of us in this game as it is. They know how long it was going to take us to rise up, how long it would take us to stew on this, how many sheeple would conform. They had it all put into the D wave and came out with all their solutions, and they picked the best one that suited them. And they seem to be, dulling it out in the increments that it needs to follow. So this happens, and then this happens, and then this reaction happens, and then this solution comes in. And I'm not surprised to start seeing people rise up. I think that's very telling of the time that we're in, and it was bound to happen, but they also know that it was bound to happen, and it's part of the plan itself. And people have to really understand that things are never going to go back to the way it was, no matter how much you want it to, and you just want to get back to work. It's not ever going to be that way, and it's going to come with a lot of conditions for that to happen. All right.
So you want me to hit play, or you want to just walk through it?
We can just walk through it to the pictures. We can mute it out and just look at what they were showing in the 2012 Olympics.
All right. Cool. I don't quite remember this anyway, so this should be interesting.
Please click on the link below in the show liner notes to get the video I just produced. I've been blocked.
You can scroll up a little, yeah. You'll see the pictures come up. There you go. Okay, so this is one of the shows that they performed during the Olympics, and clearly that looks like the coronavirus that they're telling us. And also, it's blue. How about that, Steve? It's blue.
It's crazy. That's a heavy mind control color. Your TV flicks blue in your face, whether you know that or not. But wow, is that really what it looked like, man? I'm just gonna go on Google over here real quick. What is this? Summer Olympics?
Olympics from the United Kingdom, 2012.
What is like the opening ceremony?
I think so. I think it might be that, the opening.
Oh, here we go. Give me a sec. I'll play in a second. Just wow, that's not even the bad thing.
There's
man,
more stuff that happened, but this is, I think, the only part he's covering in this video. But they have a giant baby on the field at one point that looks like they're severing this baby into pieces and stuff. And of course, it looks like a dead baby. It's really bizarre.
Wow. Oh, wow. You ain't shitting me.
Yeah. Yeah, these people are sick, and they don't mind showing you exactly what they're doing if you have the eyes to see it. And back then, this was before the Pizzagate thing, before the whole, Planet Pizza or whatever the hell that thing was, where they're talking about these torture rooms and all this diabolical stuff that they were doing with children. It was disgusting, but yeah.
That's crazy. I'm going to do a screen share on this stuff right after this, because that's wild. They don't miss a beat, I'll tell you that.
Showcased in the 2012s, along with the dancing nurses. I mean, all predictive programs.
Yeah, put the volume up a little so we can hear him. He won't mind us doing that. He's cool. The plain truth.
Scripted the scriptures are for the shutdown, takeover, elimination, extermination, whatever of the culling of the populations as they slow boil and turn to fast boil all as froggies. So please share this with all. And this video here was one I published earlier about the other Olympics, also showcasing the predictive programming, so everybody can realize just how long this has all been in the works and being planned to be executed literally at this moment. So stay strong, folks. One love. We'll get through this together. Please, together, not apart. Together. Okay.
Also, Steve, I got to tell you, I've been getting some really disturbing emails lately. I need to know if anybody else is getting emails like this. I was under the impression that when you have an ex-president or a president that's no longer president anymore, you would refer to that person as former President Kennedy, former President Carter, former President Obama, but you would never refer to that person as president, like as if they are the current president. There's only one current president. All the rest are former presidents. But I've been getting emails for President Obama and President Obama and the Democrats and all this stuff. And I'm like, President Obama, he's not president. He's a former president. Why are they calling him and referring to him as president when clearly Donald Trump's president? Has anybody gotten emails like that? I mean, it's bizarre. I keep seeing President Obama. Are they trying to bring this guy back or something?
I wouldn't doubt it, but I haven't gotten nothing like that yet. And it's just eerie how Donald Trump has that whole video that I mirrored the other day, talking in the past tense. Oh, I didn't mirror that one, actually. It was a different one, but he has someone made a whole video where they caught him talking in the past tense, like, oh, it was a great service, serving our country. I have never been more proud to have been your president. Not to be, to have been.
Yeah, I heard that.
And all the press, like his fucking dog just got put down or some shit, So something's really up with that. But what do we got here? Just some like crazy fucking sun worship?
Sun worship and more depictions of viruses, pointy things, coronas.
Right. That's crazy. Let me get a better picture. There we go. Look at that stuff.
But they're all virus-like in a way, one way or another. They're considered some sort of art form, but clearly they're depicting what would look like a microscopic virus if they were actually real, because they're not. This is what they want you to think is out there, the big bad virus that's going to kill you.
That's crazy. But I mean, like, look at like the thing inside of there. Some Osiris shit.
Yeah.
On here, I'm not sure that's a representative. But the corona is supposedly the aura around the sun. And remember the Luciferian prophecies and the Luciferian creed is there the light beings of the sun. And here's a coronavirus image. And as you can see, how many people are aware that the epicenter of the reported coronavirus held an Olympic-type game ceremony just months before the reported outbreak? Yes, exactly, probably none. This was the 7th military world games held in Wuhan, the first time they'd come out of the barracks and in the public domain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop that right there. And another quote unquote coincidence is that the Wuhan Games that were held in China started on October 18th, 2019. Go to Google, type in October 18th, 2019, event 201. That's the day they did the simulation of the coronavirus pandemic that would take out the world.
Yep.
Another book for the coincidence shelf.
Another coincidence.
With the attendance by 103 countries and an opening ceremony that not only competed with every Olympic game ceremony, but was a clear depiction of a military world under the UN. Yet no mainstream media even touched upon it. This attunes to all my research showing that the mass media events, such as the opening and closing ceremonies of other sporting events being used to showcase their intentions, and the Wuhan military games is no exception. The pictures speak for themselves. The 7th Military World Games was the first international military multi-sport to be held in China, and also it was the largest military sports event to be held in China, with nearly 10,000 athletes from all over 100 countries competing in 27 sports. 2-7 is 9.
Yep.
And here's their emblems.
Wow.
Great research, Annie. Hats off to you, man. This is just awesome. So as far as Annie's concerned, the whole thing is a hoax, another fake pandemic on the way. The usual players involved, they claim to have vaccine in 2 hours. There was a mock-up of a very same thing just a couple of months before involving the U.S. CDC and the Chinese CDC, as well as representatives from all the usual agencies. It gives 5G the opportunity to be showcased and seen as a great asset. It also gets a lockdown at a time when the public in that area were protesting against the incinerators that were causing respiratory problems. What better way to make use of the situation than to use it against the people? I also think that the pulsed waves of 5G have the same actions as that of the electroporation method perfected by Dr. Dick. The same man who has been given the contract to create the vaccine, so it would appear that 5G pulsed waves would enable any pollutants to penetrate the body more easily and give the appearance of a viral infection.
Wow.
Thank you, Annie, Logical Uncensored. This is a great article, and it's really important, and I'll put this in the show notes, and I'll leave you with a little of the video of what the Olympic Games and the symbology of the virus is. The more we can stop it, the more we can mitigate it, the more we can do it. Also, Dr. Luis Garcia is coming up with coronavirus magnetic placements to help arrest, alleviate, and halt what their pandemic is going to be rolling out over the next few weeks, months, and year.
Nice. Can't wait for that. Can't wait. I'm just gonna put this give that
A Plain Truth. He's got a lot of really good info. He's really covering this thing like top to bottom, and him and Richie from Boston are my two go-to guys right now. So yeah, if you guys aren't subbed and belled to A Plain Truth, it used to be at plaintruth.info. I think it says a plaintruth.u or something now.
Yep, that's the link right here in the description right there.
Yeah,
I think Tommy's got the link right to his channel, so definitely check that out.
Yes, guys, you won't regret it. And I share a lot of his stuff. I even took a strike for sharing some of his stuff, but it was worth it. It was about Tartaria, how it was deleted from our history.
Yeah, absolutely. And, real quick, we got 78 watching right now. I'm going to give a quick shout out, okay?
Sure.
Who we got? We got Patrick Roberts, our new timeline. What's up, brother? PG2424. What's up? Pamela Thrasher. Tommy Tell the Truth. Sean Goodrow. Singeman. Darkslayer1. Craig Staber. HQ Tactical. Marika, what's up? Who else we got here in the chat? Queen of Swords, 444. True Seeker. Also got the True Seeker 69 here. We got Tom Muir. Eyes to see, ears to hear. What's up? Who else we got? What are the possibilities? Blade Star 775. Barry Ross. Wow, we got a lot of people I ain't never seen before in my life in here. I like it. I dig it. Like, share, and subscribe, everyone, because it's going to get crazy. And the more information we can get out together, the more we can make a difference in the end, you know? Julie Edwards, what's up? Logos on fire. Who else we got? Hell no, maybe. What's up? And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Wow. Yeetus McFetus, what's up, brother?
Eat.
Heck yeah. But so, excuse me. So choking on air for a minute. Something I want to get into tonight is a lot of where all of this is taking us. Not just obviously we've seen this whole predictive programming from what A Plain Truth just showed from years before. And you know what? Let me get just a quick screen share, because we saw how he was showing the picture that looked like a virus from the 2020 Olympics, and you know, this kind of looks like a virus over here as well. But these are all pictures from the 2020 Olympics. And if you don't see something wrong with the majority of these pictures, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. Circle fire in the sky. Yeah, there's the baby you were talking about.
On that. Now look at this fucking baby. It looks like it's dead. Okay. And then they have it going around. They like dismember this thing and everything. I forget what year. This is from 2012 as well, right? You got all these nurses that look like they're nurses, right? Or something. And these people are all like doing some satanic stuff to this baby. And it's just disgusting.
It is. It's ridiculous. These people get away with fucking... What is this, dude?
Yeah, that's not good. None of that's good.
What is that, though? Wow.
Some sort of I think it had something to do with Harry Potter back then or something, or some sort of thing like that. They incorporated some of that theme in there. But still, It's all evil. It's all black magic. It's all spell casting. And it is one gigantic fucking ritual that they are fucking sucking the energy from the people to put forth whatever they're trying to manifest here, which is clearly to accomplish their goals of deceiving us on every level and give us a predictive programming psyop.
This shit is just nuts, man.
In the shape of a baby, like the baby's not there now.
Oh yeah. I kind of see that.
Yeah, even on the other bigger picture to the right. Yeah, it's really bizarre, their show that they do. It's just so satanic.
Yo, right?
Love it. They love it. They're like so excited to go. I mean, you really know at this point, if you can't see the brainwashed sheep out there, especially now with all the masks on, which I have to say today it was a lot less masks and a lot more less social distancing going on. I was very happy to see that. What I didn't see earlier in those protests, which I was very happy to see them protesting. However, I think this was the time they expected them to start doing something anyway. Where were the people saying, we want to get back to work, let's chill this thing out, and oh, by the way, we don't want vaccines either? Because if they're just out there demanding to get back to normal, ease up on all this ridiculousness, let's get some sort of normalcy back, we need to go back to work. And they're not going any further than that in their demands, because they are the creditors. We're not the debtors. We're not the beggars. We are the writers of our own story. If they don't take that next step, you know they're going to come out with, well, okay, you want to go back to work, you're going to have to get tested. You're going to have this vaccine. And they already know the public outcry is people need to get back to work. They're running out of money. The credit cards are maxed. There's no more money coming in. The little bit of fucking unemployment that some people are getting is barely getting them by. I mean, a whole family is to deal with here, not just one or two people living with each other. School, you got to get back to school. They need this normalcy to come back, but people have to realize they're going to give it to us with conditions. It's problem, reaction, solution. Right now, we're at the reaction part. They created the problem. Now they got people reacting. They had us stewing for 3 to 5 weeks. Now they're all like, okay, the weather's breaking. Shit's getting fucking ridiculous. Clearly nothing's going on. Let's get back to normal. Well, if you want that, guys, you're going to have to do this. And so people right now should be standing and demanding what we want and be specific in what we want and what we don't want. Because if you're not specific now and they come out with their solution already prepackaged and ready to go, some of these fucking sheeple are going to buy into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what Tom Muir just said here, you have to be in a coma not to see what they're trying to do, not even hiding symbolism at all. They don't care. The past, I would say, since 2016, pretty much ever since they did that Gothard tunnel ritual and released that Symmetry film by CERN, ever since then, they have not been hiding anything. They have that was their declaration. Like, we finished our project, we're gonna march it out. It's been since
I saw that. I was like, what am I fucking watching? I had to turn it off. I'm like, no, I can't look at this. This is, and I never watched the whole thing. I've only seen it in spots of people breaking certain things down. I literally cannot. My brain started to swell just hearing that noise and stuff. All their weird horns and screams and.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous, but like I was saying, since 2016, they've been doing what many are calling is the externalization of the hierarchy. Yes. They are putting everything they've ever done out into the forefront, and that's how they get away with it too. We told you, you consented.
All that's done in the dark is going to come to light. We are in the apocalypse. Take 2. We're in the apocalypse, the time of revealing. So this is what's happening. What's going to happen now is, have they conditioned you enough that the revealing will just be, it's just one more thing. Let's just go along with it. Or are you awake enough to say, hell no, I don't want none of this. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at. I think that's like what you were saying, Steve, with all the demoralization that took place over the last 10 years. The pendulum has completely swung to the other side as far as moral values and what's acceptable and what is, all-inclusiveness thing going on, and accept everything, accept this, accept that. And now it'll be accept all this. Well, you've already accepted all that, and all that came from us anyway, so here we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And with everything that's going on right now, what I can clearly see happening next is some sort of civil unrest, people killing people, second seal pretty much. But I can't give you a time stamp on when that's going to happen, how long it's going to last or whatever. But what's going to happen after that, I've got it mapped out, I think. I'm not claiming that I'm right, but in my opinion, from what we're going to show for pretty much here on out for the next, I don't even know how long, is what I think is what's going to happen after the civil unrest part, after the second seal, because the second seal is a red horseman, or it's on a red horse. Mm-hmm. And then everyone just starts fucking killing each other. That's what it pretty much says. Human killing humans. That's going to happen in your own neighborhoods. It's going to be neighbors on neighbors. It's also going to be police state on your fellow neighbors, on yourself as well. I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's coming soon. But after that, let me get a screen share real quick. Pretty much in a Droid commercial from 2012, this is what the next step is. Check this out. This screen sharing?
Yeah.
Let me make it full screen because it's crazy. I'm sure, I hope most of everyone's seen this by now. This is nuts. I'm sure this will get taken right off of Facebook because Facebook doesn't like me playing videos. Hold on.
Fuck Facebook. Now you're really getting it down.
Droid DNA augmentation initiated.
They jump right into it, don't they?
Miss a beat. This is called Droid DNA.
This is what I'm saying. When you were watching Gamer, we watched the previews for that. It was like you became a droid. Somebody could tap into you and steer you and stuff.
Exactly. This is nuts, dude. Check out this whole thing. This is nuts.
Droid DNA augmentation initiated.
And real quick, here, let me pause that.
So it's augmenting his DNA with little droids.
In the right hand.
Yeah, there you go.
The right hand.
Droid DNA augmentation initiated. Vision expanding.
In the forehead.
Exactly, dude. And see how they're promoting it as if it's going to help you. It's going to repair your DNA, make you stronger, faster, see farther, hear farther, all this stuff.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely. I'm gonna stop interrupting. I'm gonna play it through, but it's so crazy. I just can't with this video. Like, look, it starts off with 2 beady eyes. You can't beat that. Can't beat that with a stick.
That's dog man.
Yeah.
Droid DNA augmentation initiated. Vision expanding to a 5-inch 1080p HD display and camera. Touch acquiring NFC. Hearing evolving with Beats audio. Wireless charging activated.
Introducing Droid DNA by HTC. It's not an upgrade to your phone. It's an upgrade to yourself.
Dude, that's muffed up. What the F is this shit?
2012.
I never saw that in my life.
Yep. Yep, you got the Iron Man chest piece too, just like the Golems. Like the Golems. Yep.
I was going to say the Iron Man thing, and that's how he was animated by this blue stuff they would stick inside him. That thing they'd stick in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to look up a picture of animated. How do you even spell Golem? That's not something I look up every day, you know?
I think it's Gaulm.
I'm going to try this kind of.
Golem, Gulum, AM. I don't know.
UM. And it's pretty much just.
See, I'm not a speller. I don't cast spells. I suck at spelling, and I'm proud of it.
Oh, you telling me? I went into a spelling bee in 6th grade. I couldn't spell bonanza.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. Oh my gosh, Gollum, Golem, Bladestar 775. Thank you very much. Whoop, whoop.
Okay. OLEM.
Or something. Tom Muir says GOLUM. And then I have GOLLUM. Which one is it, guys?
I think GOLEM's popping up pretty good. I'm just trying to look for like
I think it was Gollum.
Well, you got to remember these people. They're from like Hebrew lands, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They like the EM, you know.
Like,
Sanders. Yeah, I'm not finding any like crazy pictures that like show them with the whatever blue chest and shit. Oh, what did I just do here? I hate StreamYard sometimes. Let me try this. This is what I'm getting here, but clearly there's no soul in there. But once they are animated and alive, the old Jewish mysticism through the lores and books and whatnot, there's a blue light that comes out of them.
Yeah, and
obviously not portrayed here anywhere, but look at like see.
Yeah, Frankenstein was a golem as well.
Absolutely, just some crazy shit here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, half of this shit's like from a movie, but still the way they go out. Oh, there it is. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that is like Iron Man.
Yep. Well, why do you think it's called Iron Man? You know.
They did that thing in the desert where they created a golem in that big steel case that they set a bomb off in, like radiation and stuff, to animate it and everything. God, I forget what it was called. I just watched it the other day too. It had this huge, it looked like the mother of all bombs kind of thing, but it was a steel casing, like 14 inches thick, and they set the nuclear bomb off inside this thing with the right ingredients for the golem, and the radiation, after it sat for a while and everything, animated this thing and made things grow and stuff, and they created a golem.
Right. But what was I gonna say? So you know how like Robert Downey Jr. last year, this year, whenever that Endgame movie came out, he got like Man of the Year. He got like 3 or 4 awards for it because he was Iron Man. You know, everyone fell in love with Iron Man. Iron Man was like Marvel's front runner for a while. Why is that? Well, if you read in the Bible, it talks about in the end days, they'll be mixing iron and clay. Clay is man from the earth. God created us from the dirt, the dust of the earth, clay. And when they mix iron with clay,
Didn't
You get
work.
a hybrid. You get a beast. That's the end system. That's what this is about: merging technology and man, which is why they got everyone very comfortable, very
After that,
familiar with
yeah.
the term Iron Man.
The next step after that is to just go with Iron Man and no man at all. See what it's saying is that they can trick people into transhumanism and augmenting themselves, and if your arm's chopped off, you got this robotic arm now, and then before you know it, it's just your head on a body like what is it, RoboCop? Okay, there's barely any human there, and that's what they want. They're gradually getting the human element out completely and destroying God's creation, and their creation will be like Terminator stuff, that kind of I am robot, or these types of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. They're getting everyone too comfortable with that, in my opinion. Too comfortable.
Mhm.
And here, let me we've watched this, but let's watch it again. This is the Abramovich, or whatever the fuck her name is. The Bill Gates commercial that got pulled down. Marina Abramovich. Yep, that's her name. And she teamed up with Microsoft a couple days ago. They had a commercial that got removed because it had 400 and something thumbs up and over like 40,000 thumbs down. I've heard it's ridiculous, and they pulled it. But look what they're pitching in this video. They're pitching the same thing from the droid DNA scenario, but this scenario, what they're portraying here, this is going to be your new reality after you get the updates. This is how you'll be interacting with people from here on out. Yep. This is what I've gathered from it.
I believe
it's in like mad shitty quality, so deal with it. Sorry.
That art of the future is art without objects. It's just pure transmission of energy between the viewer and the artist. To me, mixed reality is this answer.
This was a unique opportunity to take the most legendary artist working now and capture.
Eckhart. We all know who that is. Evolve or die. I'll leave it at that.
Them in such a way that they are translatable forever.
If you're a collector, you're trying to find works that break new ground. We here at Christie's believe that this is that. And it will be the first time that a mixed reality artwork is sold at auction.
There was always a question what you buy when you buy performance. You buy the video or you buy the additional photographs. Here, you actually can have the artist's presence in your collection.
The first thing that we had to figure out was you had to feel that you were in the room with Marina, not a document of Marina. So HoloLens 2 was created.
So you have to feel that you're in the room with this person. This is literally like from that movie with the Rambo guy you showed me the other day, where it was sometime in the future, and these two, they went to have intercourse, and they had to put helmets on to feel it, and they were 6 feet away from each other, ironically. A new reality.
Exactly. After this, I sent you another clip from that same movie that has to deal with the way the future is and the lifestyle that is expected of people to live a certain way. And this is a virtual way of living. It's to escape the real world, because the real world sucks, which the real world is the creator's world. He created all this stuff, and they're demolishing it all. They're destroying it all. So what are they going to have humans do? They're going to escape into a virtual reality to where they can be taken away from this horrible world that they're in. I mean, this is actually a beautiful garden. It's ours, and we're the keepers of it.
Exactly. And notice they have this virtual goggles on, and it's doing nothing but flashing blue and purple lights into your face. Mind control.
Yep.
That's simple.
By people who quite clearly have an interest in the audience forgetting that they are using technology. So the purest expression of artistic intent can happen.
I really want viewer to be with me in the space, in here and now. The life is dealing with what is going to stay after I'm not there anymore. And I can.
So they're calling this thing the life, and it deals with with being with her after she's not here anymore, i.e., immortality.
Yeah, and look what she's wearing. I mean, this looks
Right,
like
dude.
a death robe
Right.
or something. It's gross. And I don't like the fact that the medical field has allowed their people to wear black scrubs. When I went to school back in 95 for medical assisting, you didn't wear black gloves. You didn't wear black medical scrubs and stuff. This was a no-no. But now it's welcomed. It's encouraged. It's death. It's those lovers of death.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. She looks like she's about to go like
And
give an
also-
exorcism or some shit.
Black and red are satanic colors. If you look up the colors of the Satanists, and this is two of the colors, main colors that they use, black, red, and white. You have red, white, and black all up in this video.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Get the red, what's probably a giant hexagon around whatever she's about to like walk into. And if you noticed before, to bring her into reality, it's a black circle. It's a black hole. This is the portal opening here. They're done playing. They're done playing with salt. They're done playing with salt circles. They're just gonna open a fucking hole with the D wave or something, and then you're gonna see people walk out of it.
She is in her red dress, black and red, black, red, and white, black, red, and white.
Exactly. Exactly. And look at this. She like deals with herself. It's crazy.
Well, they were talking about doing this too for virtual headstones for people. I remember them in, I forget what movie it was, but when they went to visit somebody's grave, when you walked up to it, a hologram would come up and it would be like that person and what they've done in their lives, like a little, like something you would see, like, you know, in Star Wars when R2-D2 put the little hologram up of Princess Leia and she's talking. It's like a little hologram like that only when you pass in front of the headstone, the hologram would pop up and it would be like a story of that person's life and stuff like that. It was like a virtual headstone or something.
Right. I never saw that, but that sounds crazy.
And I can face myself. And that's a frightening experience. Really like you facing your
I can face myself in a very frightening experience, but we're going to give this is the new reality. It's rather frightening.
own ghost. There is always this great idea of immortality. Once you die, the work.
Look how like innocent they're like portraying this thing. This is the new reality, people. This is going to be the downfall.
Yeah, and a ghost is a spirit, a disembodied spirit that is stuck here, that has not moved on to heaven or hell. So who wants to be a ghost? I certainly don't. But she's talking about her ghost.
Disembodied spirits
will never die because the work of art can continue. In performance, the piece is only in the memory of the audience and nowhere else.
So with this, essentially, you can never die because art lives on forever. How do you like them apples, people?
Yep. And that's also what they were doing in Westworld. They were creating these autonomous robots that were so lifelike and trying to upload their consciousness to these robots once their health had failed and they knew they were on their way, you know, out of this world. They just would upload their consciousness to this implantable, like it almost looked like a credit card, but your whole life was on this thing, and then you would live forever.
Sounds sort of like ID 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And nowhere else. Here, I am kept forever.
Wonderful. That's where I want to be forever, in a fucking black hole. I don't think so.
There you go. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
you can be here forever in the augmented reality. Upload your consciousness. Yeah. All that shit. It's crazy. And it plays right into, well, ID 2020. Let's close that ad over there. ID 2020. How nice is this stuff? From September 2019. They've thought this out for a long, long time, people. Yep. So basically what they're pitching here, you get the little mark here, whatever, get the vaccine. There you go. Get the vaccine. You get the old Neuralink, the old human brain chip by Elon Musk, and then you'll be able to live in an augmented reality with Marina Abramovich.
You know what they did? on Star Trek, when they wanted to escape, they would go to the holodeck. They had the holodeck where you were in there. It was like it was real. You were walking around. You could smell, taste, touch. So yeah, I mean, this concept has been around for quite some time, and they're really starting to introduce it into the video games, the gaming sector first. I've seen these goggles plenty of times on kids playing these virtual games and stuff, or in the arcades and everything.
You got to get it acceptable by the kids, because the kids run the adults nowadays.
Yeah, the kids will tell the parents, "Hey, Mom, I want that," and it'll be the latest, greatest, coolest, trendiest thing, and you've been spellcasted upon.
Absolutely. But check out this statement here from the ID 2020 website here. Digital identity is computerized records of who a person is. Nice. Stored in a registry. It is used in this case to keep track of who has received vaccination.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
In this case, it's used for that, but they don't tell you that it has many uses. And, this tiny little chip or this digital network can hold a shit ton of files and stuff. So it's not just this one little thing. Once they get their one little thing in you, it will have many, many different uses. Just like your phone, you can get many, many apps that make your phone do a shit ton of stuff. But when you first get your phone, it's just, the basics.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And over here, you got, I don't know what this website is, but globalresearch.org. I kind of stumbled upon it by accident today. And they got a story here called COVID-19, the perfect cover for mandatory biometric ID. Yeah. So whoever these people are, they're kind of knocking it out of the park. Look at this. Hospitals getting paid to label. Well, these people are on the money, whoever these people are. I don't know who they are, but theme, police, state, and civil rights. Not bad. Not bad at all. I saw a couple crazy things in here. As countries begin to lift coronavirus lockdowns, biometric identification can help verify those to verify those who have already had the injection and ensure that the vulnerable get the vaccine when it is launched, health and technology experts said. So this is just like what they're trying to do, guys. Look at this here. A biometric ID can store the record of the infected and those getting the vaccine, said Larry Doors, Southeast Asia head of iRespond, a Seattle-based nonprofit that is launched its technology last month. I wonder what that Seattle-based nonprofit company is. If I were to put any amount of money on it, I would probably have to put it on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation inside Seattle, Washington. That's what I would probably have to put my money on.
Most likely.
Yeah, most likely. Check this out. Total surveillance requires 24/7 monitoring of individuals, especially those included in the main core database of activists and political enemies of the state, and biometric technology introduced during the hysteria of an exaggerated health threat fits the bill. These people are knocking it out. They bring up Rockefeller Foundation, Bill Gates, ID 2020, and how their statement is to prove who you are as a fundamental and universal human right. No, that's not how it works, buddy. Not on a biometric quantum computer-based level. On a human, spiritual, individual level, yeah, probably. And they even go on to say, if you believe this is dangerously close to China's social credit system, you're not far off the mark. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. I got another one here. A vaccine. I don't know this word here. Blah, blah, blah. Designed to combat COVID-19 will become mandatory, and those who resist will be blacklisted as public health criminals and be locked out of society, similar to the Chinese suffering under the Chinese totalitarian social credit system. How nice is that?
Crap.
Yep.
But that's what they want. China's going to emerge out of this, the world leader, and what they're doing is what they're going to expect the rest of the world to do, which has always been with exactly what the New World Order wants anyway. And they have to have a front man for it, just like the United States has been the forerunner for all this time with oil and the greenback and everything, go-to economy. That's all done. That's over with.
Absolutely. It goes on here to even say COVID-19 is the perfect Trojan horse for a control freak state itching not only to microchip or micromanage the lives of ordinary citizens, but also to ferret out critics and potential adversaries and punish them as enemies of the state. This is all that. How nice is that? Ridiculous, people. And this has everything to do with Neuralink. This morning, I just type in Neuralink, I hit news, and you get all these wacky updates from 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 1 week ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, not good stuff. What's this even say? There you go. Elon Musk unveils Neuralink's plans for brain reading threads. Sounds about right.
That looks like that nanotech from that drone thing you just said, the droid, where the nano went in and started stringing up the DNA and working on it and everything. Nano threads.
Absolutely.
Or is that like Morgellons? Is that like the stuff that if you go outside with a flashlight in the pitch black, you'll see stuff moving all through the air? That's just not dust particles, guys. This is what they've been spraying on us, is this nanotech. These little string-like structures, spider-like structures and stuff. So, yeah, and it's everywhere. It's all over the place. It's in all of us.
It's absolutely crazy that we could even fathom living in a world like this. I'm telling you, it's just so crazy. Downloading the human brain into a computer. Nice. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. These people are freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts,
So
I'm telling you.
I sent you a little clip from Demolition Man, and then after that, I have another little clip that's mirrored on my channel that I wanted everybody to check out. But in Demolition Man, not only do they not exchange bodily fluids and do touch each other, they live under certain conditions, because the old way, which would be the way we're living now, was the downfall of society, the viruses, all the plagues, and the degradation of society itself. Now everybody's living like prim and proper. They think that was kind of like barbaric way to live. They would never ever even consider exchanging bodily fluids now or anything like that. Everybody's kind of isolated in their own pods. You walk everywhere. There's no cars except for the police. If you say like a bad word, there's these little stations every so many feet that will shoot out a ticket at you saying you violated, the non violent speech clause or whatever, and you get a certain credit taken. You've had 10 credits deleted. It'll say stuff like that.
Absolutely. And that's going to lead me into the, did I hit play by accident? Oops. Yeah. And that's going to lead me right into the cryptocurrency system using body activity patent. That'll be fun. Probably something no one's ever heard of in their life, but me neither. All right. You want me to hit play? You good?
Yeah. 1993.
I guess you weren't part of the Cocteau plan. Greed, deception, abuse of power, that's no plan. That's why everybody's down here? Got that right. See, according to Cocteau's plan, I'm the enemy. Because I like to think. I like to read. I like to freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy who likes to sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak or the jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order of gravy fries? I want high cholesterol. I want to eat bacon and butter and buckets of cheese, okay? I want to smoke a Cuban cigar the size of Cincinnati in a non-smoking section. I want to run through the streets naked with green jello all over my body reading Playboy magazine. Why? Because I suddenly might feel the need to, okay, pal? I've seen the future. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas, drinking a banana broccoli shake, singing I'm an Oscar Mayer weed. You live up top, you live Cocteau's way. What he wants, when he wants, how he wants. Your other choice? Come down here, maybe starve to death. All right, then why don't you take charge and lead these people out of here? I'm no leader. I do what I have to do. Sometimes people come with me.
That's
So yeah,
crazy.
that would be like us guys rebelling against the system and not going along, not getting vaccinated. You know, maybe we'll have little tribes of people out in the woods with Dogman or something, but we'll figure it out. I ain't living that way, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. I'm right behind you there. Let me get this other. Where'd it go? There it is. Sound familiar? Is that the one?
Yeah, this is by Larkin Rose. He wrote this book back in 2005. I have certain people that say stuff about this guy. I don't care what you say about this guy. This guy is spot on. He wrote this book in 2005, and it's exactly what the fuck's going on now. So, yeah, sound familiar?
Cool. Hold on, I just gotta say hi to Joey real quick. Joey from Hawaii. All right. You ready to hit play? All right.
How to Be a Successful Tyrant. It's my first book. I finished writing it in 2005, and it came out in 2006, so I finished writing it 15 years ago. It's currently out of print. I'm working on getting the second edition back into print. Thought I'd give a dramatic reading of one little part of it. This is Chapter 2, Exploiting Fear. From the beginning, subheading, Fear as a Tool. Now, keep in mind, this is written as a manual for someone trying to be a tyrant. So when it says you, it's talking to somebody trying to be a tyrant. Almost all oppression via propaganda is based upon scaring people and then presenting a false choice where the people can choose either to do what you want them to do or face some unknown, often purely fictional horror. This is not the method of the common thug, which can be summarized as, do this or I will hurt you. A successful modern tyrant never presents himself as the thing to be afraid of, as doing so would obviously create resentment and hatred in the peasantry, and that leads to resistance. Every thing to be feared, or TTBF, with which you terrorize your peasants must be presented as some separate outside evil that only you can save them from. You must present the simple choice between obedience to you and the threat of some unpleasant happening, which does not appear to be of your doing and which you pretend to lament the existence of. In short, you must deceive and scare the citizens into voluntarily giving up their freedom. Quote, the people never give up their liberties but under some delusion. End quote, Edmund Burke. A simple example would be making up a plague of some sort, assuring people that millions are doomed to die, and then claiming that giving you a lot of money and control is the only hope of averting disaster. Or perhaps, instead of making up a disease, you can pick a real disease, grossly exaggerate the risk it poses to the peasants, whip them into a frenzy, and then present yourself as their only hope for salvation, which, of course, will require you to be given much wealth and power.
Sounds like a mixture of Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the one and only Shill Gates.
Yeah. And FEMA, you know, because they get a shit ton of power every time he hands over executive national emergency to them.
Yeah, right.
Recent history gives many examples to build upon, such as AIDS, anthrax, mad cow disease, etc. Even the common flu can be used to spread alarm and panic in the peasantry.
Look what's going on right now, people. The common flu. COVID-19, according to Anthony Fauci, March 26, 2020, COVID-19 is more likely akin to those of a severe seasonal influenza with a fatality rate of 0.1%, quote unquote, New England Journal of Medicine.
And also what he just read was exactly what happened in Demolition Man. The virus took over, civilization fell, and what rose up out of it was Cocteau's solution, which was, you You know, they created this whole fake thing to have this all collapse so he could be in power and he would have all the power because he was the savior of all this. He brought up this new society and it seems to be working, which clearly it's not. But the brainwashed people who are living in his society would be the brainwashed people in our society now who will take the mark and move on while we are left behind in that old world that died off. We died off. You know what I'm saying? And they think they're living the good life when they're actually don't even know they're living in hell. They have no freedom. They're being told what to do at every turn and punished for whatever they're doing if it's not along the lines of what the Cocteau lifestyle is or whatever. If it's just the same exact thing that's happening here, except it's happening on the whole plane all at once. Still shocking to me is when I see the drone footage of other countries and towns like Milan and all this stuff, France, Paris. I don't know if it's the true footage or not, or if they're showing us something else, but there's nobody around. They're actually, you know, I think they're just waiting for the people to start just coming out and being like, okay, look, we're just going to go back to, like in Publix today. Okay. I thought this was really funny. In Publix, they have, it's a supermarket if you don't know, they have an arrow pointing down an aisle to go down the aisle. And then the next aisle over, it has like the arrows pointing up. Like you're only allowed to walk one direction in the store to come up and down these aisles. They don't want people going all different ways on their own business, going up and down. You have to do this like train thing. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? But nobody was abiding by it, which was really cool. And I think that's what we need is we need to just go out ourselves and collectively start coming together and figuring out how we can make our own communities, our own story out of all this, instead of waiting for them to bring out the next marching order. Okay, well, we'll lean back a little. We'll open this now and okay, this. But then anytime they want, they can just ramp it up again and be like, here we go again, guys. See, you should have listened to us. Y'all need a vaccine now. We can't have this going on. And this is that up and down thing that they were talking about. We all know there's still nothing going on. It's a matter of the people who are starting to figure it out to understand this whole scope of the thing. This is a huge story that's unfolding before us, and we're all in it. We're in his story. We need to get out of his story and start writing our story. Yeah. That's why it's a novel. It's the novel Corona. It's when you look up novel and novelty, you'll see why they're calling it that and why they're using that term right now and stuff.
Yep. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But you want to take 5 real quick?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Got a nice little ODD song. Doesn't have to be this way. Because honestly, it doesn't, guys. We're allowing it to be this way. And it's time we stand up for not just our American rights, but our human rights, our God-given rights. And it's just effed up, but it is what it is, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems, and baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I'm really sick of living, stuck and trapped in the system. You're just a brick in the wall, and I got my back up against it. I represent the resistance, they want me back up in prison. But I'm the master of my path, and I won't slack on my mission. You're lacking the vision, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They hide the truth in plain view, right in front of your face. I used to think the world was normal, but that wasn't the case. We're just some goyim on a hamster wheel, running
falling in place. Turn up the bass, I grab the microphone and all I do is rock it. This little light of mine, I let it shine and you can't stop it. But there's nothing these corporations just won't do for profit. This fake ass world that we live in is sick, it's truly toxic. If you don't see it that way, okay, then keep talking. Don't bump into that wall while you're sleepwalking. The alarm is going off, I hear it beep often. I'm at the double doors of truth, I'm gonna keep knocking.
I just want to live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just want to fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I refuse to just go quietly into the night. There's forces of darkness at work and they're restricting the light. I'm so fed up with the lies they tell us this isn't right. It's ODD TV, you best believe I'll get up and fight. This is my plight, I'll never let you cowards get the best of me. Took the red pill, now it's time to fulfill my destiny. Living like I'm Neo, dipping from my P.O. Tripping on me cause I am the one and he's a zero. Hot like a jalapeno, bringing heat that you just can't avoid. I call out bullshit and lies, they call me paranoid. People are just foolish, full of hate, they get angry. Point out the truth about reality, they label you crazy. Just a glitch in the system, you're a critical thinker. And no, they don't want that. Fuck them, give them the finger. I do it every single day with each and everything I say. I'm not living like a victim, it doesn't have to be this way.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me.
All of these small businesses trust Next Insurance. Handyman, carpenters, DJs, roofers, painters, landscapers, personal trainers.
Eckhart, you talk about in an ever-changing world, a species needs to either adapt or they will die out. And then you go on to say, and I quote, that humanity is now faced with this dark choice: evolve or die.
There's so much to say in so little time. This is a song for those left behind, an insider's view to what's going on. If Christians are raptured away and are gone, in case of emergency, take this CD and make many copies to give away free. But first get a Bible and start reading now. The moment will come when they will not allow distribution, possession of anything Christian. You'll go underground, a secret resistance, and face persecution, imprisoned and beaten. Now is the time to make your decision, to battle his minions left on this earth, or fall for a false explanation. Prefer to be herded like sheep. The ancient delusion, the oldest of schemes, has come to conclusion. The mark of the beast from the father of lies, the angel of light, master of disguise. He's devising a plan, preparing us now, and through evolution convincing the crowds that aliens somehow are out there and bound to have all of the answers and power to know the solution. Like indigo children, smarter than humans, more intuition, much more evolved. They're sending a vision, prepare the whole world with a false explanation. If we're to evolve, we must remove Christians. They call it the cleansing, and this is their mission.
Evolve or die refers to whether humanity survives as a species. There is an enormous awakening happening on the planet.
The age of Aquarius, ending duality. Oprah the Secret and Eckhart Tolle preach what will bring in a new age reality based in traditions of pagan theosophy, bound to be thousands of offshoots of Crowley, students of Alice C. Bailey who follow the lies of Helena Blavatsky, radically altering, changing the pages of history, laying the groundwork forged by the tools of Lucifer, paving the way for the United Nations. A slow preparation, patiently waiting since the creation. The Garden of Eden, a planet whose placement in time is persuaded by aliens, outside invasions, abductions, and cow mutilations, creating an atmosphere ripe for the picking with movies and Hollywood implanting trickery, mastery over the masses. The whole world collapses in panic, all desperate for someone to save them. Obey anyone that will answer their questions. The savior of sorts, a new age messiah. The wolf in sheep's clothing is what will transpire. The mayhem is out of control at this moment. A world full of chaos chaos, confusion, and torment. I'm telling you, don't stop at anything. You can't afford to face life without Christ as your king. The moment might come when the storms of reality, trapped in a world where it's actually happening.
That's one of my favorite quotes that a significant portion of the Earth's population will soon recognize, if they haven't already done so, that humanity is now faced with a stark choice: evolve or die.
There you go, people. That song's for everyone in the world right now. Because we're fucking trapped in a world where it's actually happening. Imagine that. Imagine that, people. Ridiculous. And honestly, speaking of Oprah, I forgot about that bitch. She was talking some smack yesterday.
Fuck Oprah. Fuck that bitch. You know what she needs? Some of that.
Jesus Christmas.
I just wolfed down a meatball sandwich. It was so good.
All good.
I hope I don't burp on camera.
Look at this.
Oh, yikes.
Oprah Winfrey warns coronavirus is ravaging the black communities.
That's, they look the scaredest too. When I'm out, it's mostly black people that have these masks on. Like, they're like definitely afraid of it. Like, oh my God, Oprah said it. It must be, it must be true.
Yeah. Well, you know what the real thing is? All of the map showed not the maps, the simulation there, Event 201 was talking about how the inner cities are going to get hammered. They ain't getting hammered with a virus. Who's setting up in the inner cities right now? Everywhere around the world. The military.
Yeah.
That's what's going to take them out. Not the virus, the repercussion of the virus. Just like
that $1,200 check's only going to go so far. And
they're going to start pinching the food line sooner or later, and that's really going to bring the second seal into reality. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Every disaster movie we've seen, every thing that they've thrown down the pike at us for these traumatic disaster movies have always shown people losing their minds and rioting. It's just been bred into us from Tell Lies to Your Vision in the movies, and it never shows people calmly coming together, trying to figure shit out on a local level, on a small level, neighborhood to neighborhood, even know your neighbors and stuff. No, they want you inside, isolated. Don't talk to your neighbor. Your neighbor's your worst enemy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They're going to get everyone to turn on each other. But here today I literally Googled artificial intelligence technology so I can get, where the hell is it? That's where I got my freaking, where'd it go? That sucks, man. That's where I got my thumbnail. Oh, there it is, right down here. Because this is what's finna happen, people. Notice how the third horse comes with a balance in his hand.
Judgment.
Well, no, it's the balance that's gonna go off when the crypto takes over. And then if you're an undesirable citizen, it's gonna be like a whole days of pay for a for a pail of wheat. That doesn't make any sense unless you're an undesirable citizen, and it takes a hell of a lot more money to pay for simple things than it does for desirable citizens who could buy probably a bale of wheat for, I don't know, a goddamn penny, not a day's worth.
Yeah.
And look how it's all connected through AI here. The community, the judge system, looks like the Freemasons, the businesses, the education, and the politics, all run by the AI crypto. That's what that picture.
Crypt is where you put dead people in a crypt. Corpses, corporation, that's a dead entity as well. We were talking about that. And this is what it's dead. It's not real. And it's bringing you into that collective of, the AI, the inanimate, it's not living flesh and blood. It's not tangible. It's ones and zeros in a computer.
Right. And look at this here. This is 12 hours ago. DOD using artificial intelligence to detect coronavirus hotspots. Imagine that. Oh, look at this. How the White House guidance for regulations of artificial intelligence invites over-regulation. Not too sure what that means, but I'm sure it's under-regulated. That's why they put that out. Look at this. Vox, how AI is helping find the cure for COVID-19. These people are putting all the marbles in one basket, and it's fucking augmented reality or some shit like that. Look at that. The return on our yeah. You people are nuts.
So the digital blockchain currency that they've been developing over the years now is related to the chip, because you would have a digital wallet. It would track your labor, your hours, and what your pay rate is, and what your social credit is. Things will be, now for them to garnish your wages, they have to go through a process. It takes a long period of time to get those papers going and catching you and all this stuff. And before you know, your wages are getting garnished for something that you owed. This will be instantaneous. Things will be instantaneously taken out and put in and whatever.
They don't care about you going negative. They'll let you go negative and let you keep going negative. And then one day they're going to be like, hey, you got to go to a labor camp, pay off your wages. And we all know what that kind of camp is. I'll probably be there if if they don't put me down, but it is what it is. But look at this right here. Artificial intelligence developed to monitor social distancing. Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So if they had artificial intelligence, say they had something on a camera or some sort of reader on every other light pole or something, that would be similar to what we saw in Demolition Man, where on every other pole there was some sort of speaker that was listening. And if you were talking on the street and you said, like, fuck that, it would instantly go, you violated our speech code and, you've been deducted 20 credits. And you get this slip that came out and stuff, like a ticket or something.
Absolutely. And not to switch it all up from AI cryptocurrency and stuff like that. This is semi-relatable here. Donald Trump at the World Economic Forum, who are ironically at event 201, the pandemic exercise they had. So that's kind of strange there. What's also really strange is he was there in Switzerland, Davos, Switzerland, which is right outside Geneva, right where where is exactly. And what date did he give? He was over there talking about, I don't even know, World Economic Forums and bullshit. January 21st, 121, which is the exact date that the first coronavirus case came out in America, just outside of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in Seattle, Washington.
Well, this is all a coincidence, Steve. Don't you know? All a coincidence. I mean, this guy is sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, we just had a drill, a little exercise, event 20 or 201. And wow, look, it's actually happening right now. I mean, come on.
Yep. So crazy. So crazy. I can't believe it. That blew me away when I found that out. I was like, oh yeah. I can't believe we didn't hit on that, because he's in Switzerland, Geneva, CERN, Gothard Tunnel, right down the road. Hit a golf ball down there. Ridiculous. And it's all lead in. Oh man, I just can't.
I think once they get people to accept the chip and have a digital wallet or a digital health file, or whatever like that, because of course the chip is going to be multifunctional. This is just one of many chips and augmentations that are going to take place. They'll have a chip also, so that'll go for your ear, an implant for your ear. So instead of having a cell phone or earbuds or the Bluetooth, it will already be implanted into your ear or into your ear canal, to where it's actually on your eardrum and stuff. So when a call comes in, I mean, it's already bizarre to me to see them with their thing in their ear and they're walking around talking to themselves. But literally, people will be walking around talking to themselves. There'll be nothing. You know what I mean? It's
oh yeah,
future what they want for us.
Man, the AirPods, those are no bueno. Those work off Bluetooth. Like, you really want Bluetooth streaming to your head? No, you really don't.
Yeah.
But check this out. Microsoft. I was talking to this right before we went live here. This is literally called cryptocurrency system using body activity. You got to type all that in for this shit to pop up, because they're kind of keeping it hidden, but it pops up right away if you type it all in. It finished the statement for me. It should for you guys as well. But Microsoft published a patent dubbed blah, 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 blah on March 26th of this year, by the way. This happened on the 27th of 2020. They published this. The paperwork details a method of crypto mining which exploits data associated with users' body activity. You know what I'm saying? Body activity. Well, how would they know what your body's doing? Oh, wait a minute. ID 2020, the digital biometric vaccine, super fucking whatever the fuck, you know?
Yep.
The implant, the chip, the Neuralink, right there. This plus this is going to equal this, in my opinion. And this is going to bring us right to what I got for the thumbnail. And here, I'll go right to the patent right now. I'm going to drop this in the chat here real quick. Let me
You know, things didn't go very well for a lot of these pets who had gotten chipped years ago. I know stories of people's dogs going into seizures. They're actually their body flying across the room and hitting a wall and just seizing out and stuff. This chip, or the frequency that they can pump through it, it can make you have anything happen to you at any time. It can take you out at any time.
Yeah, look at this here. Look at this here. Let's just skip the patent number for a second. Look how this works. Look how this works. 5G fucking tower looking thing I see everywhere. I see these boxes on a lot of fucking posts all of a sudden. The cryptocurrency system, the cloud, the communication network, another cloud. The cloud, that's what's being brought down with the 5G grid everywhere, because it's all connected to the cloud. The 5G brings you the communication network, the hive mind, but within that hive mind will be the cryptocurrency system. So if you're not connected to the hive mind, you ain't getting your money, people. And look how it works. It goes down to the user device into the sensor, which is like pretty much the human right there. You know?
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
So that'll be your digital wallet, and that'll keep all your crypto on there, all your currency. So you can't buy and sell without it. And since there'll be no cash, credit cards are going to be out the window, because that'll be something else physical that would have to change hands. This would be the perfect way for them to just scan you. And if you don't scan right, you ain't getting you ain't getting on that plane. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't getting nothing.
That's simple. And for anyone who thinks we're just conspiracy theorists making things up, this is a real website right here. And look at
I want to mention real quick, they can scan you and find out everywhere you've been. Just like when you look at your Google on your phone, and it'll show you all the places you've been within the last 48 hours, because your phone's with you everywhere you go. Well, this chip will have that ability. If you tell the cops, are like, well, where were you the other day? Well, they just got to scan your chip and see where you were, because you're being tracked and traced the whole way. And every activity you do with your body and who you do it with is going to be tracked as well. They'll know when you fart.
And that's why Google paired up with the CDC and some government agencies just last week, saying they're going to start using everyone's tracking location devices on their phone to track who's been near someone with the coronavirus. And then they will contact you personally if you've been in contact with someone. Sounds nice, right? Yeah. Sounds like a free country we live in.
Joe Schmo down the street at that store you were at yesterday has tested positive, and we know you were there because your phone dinged at that spot on that date. And now we got to take you away, and you're going to do what we say, and you're going to do it for how long we say to do it if you ever want to leave here.
Absolutely. So we got here, guys, the cryptocurrency using body activity data. That's what it's literally called. And look at the patent number, the publication number, WO. I don't know what that means. 2020 060606. We all know that just breaks down to 666.
Yeah, and the W itself is like the V's. I think that also codes out the 6 as well or something.
Right, absolutely. But what's really significant about this, guys, is this is a cryptocurrency system using whatever the fuck that literally, if you're not hooked up to this, you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade. And if you are hooked up to this, if you're not doing what they want you to do, they'll run you dry. So either way, it's no bueno, but this is how it's biblical. If you're not under this system, if you're not under the cryptocurrency system, well, if you're not plugged into the New World Order system, you're not going to be in the cryptocurrency system. But another thing is here, it talks in the Bible, the mark of the beast will also be a number. His name will be a number. Well, I think we found its number.
Yeah.
Think we found its number. Because like I said, with this, and this will all bring you at the mercy of the cryptocurrency. Thou shalt not buy, sell, or trade unless they have the mark of the beast in their hand or forehead. You see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying?
It'll be the Walking Dead.
Right. This right here, literally, and it's backed by Bill Gates, ironically. You know, backed by Bill Gates. But let me just dip into this for a minute here. I don't know what abstract means, but human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of the cryptocurrency system. A server may provide
Stop right there. In Westworld, they have futuristic cell phones that have these underground type of apps. So say you want to get paid really quickly with these cryptocurrencies, because that's all they have in the future. You go to this app, it gives you these different level of crimes, and whatever level of crime you're willing to do, like say steal a car, or grab somebody off the street and bring them to this location, or say it's a murder or something they want you to commit. Each one has different levels of payment that you could get paid. So this is like an app on your phone. So if you need money real quick, you go to this app, you see like, okay, well, somebody wants somebody's house to get robbed, and this is a particular thing they're looking for in that house, and drop it off at this location. You'll get paid 250 credits or something, or cryptos. And that's how it is in the future in Westworld. It's all, they already have implants in them, and then the app hooks up to the phone and all this stuff, and it knows that you've done what you were supposed to do or whatever. It's just really crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what this goes into here. It says a server may provide a task. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicative. I don't know how to say that word. Coupled to the server. So pretty much it's linked to the server. Let's just break it down in layman's terms. I don't know why they can't do that. A sensor linked to or compromised in a device of the user may sense body activity of the user. Of course it will, because it's a biometric tattoo that they're going to pass to make you hooked up to this. And the biometric tattoo, ID 2020, it keeps your medical, your personal, and your financial records. You'll only be able to access the cryptocurrency if you're hooked up to the system. The ID 2020 will keep you hooked into the system. And once you take it, like Jen says, there's no backing out.
Yeah. J Street says that wasn't on Westworld. J Street, I don't know if you saw the latest episodes of Westworld, but yeah, the new season's out. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's not Westworld now. It's called War World, but the title still comes up Westworld, but the new scenario in the Westworld theme is War World. And so it bounces back from like the Germans and the war and stuff, and that fake reality that people can go relive and act like they're killing people or Germans or whatever, because they're clearly robots. They're not real people, but they look so real that you feel like you're killing real people. So you can act that out and stuff in this virtual reality. But in the real reality, there's all this futuristic technology and apps and things like that. The cell phones are already, like, to talk on a cell phone, you don't need the Bluetooth. They already have the implant in the ears I was mentioning, to where you just say hello and it picks up, or whatever your keyword is to answer that particular tone that comes up in your ear to tell you have a call coming in.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
What episode, J Street? Just start watching it from the first episode. I don't know. They're like 3, 4, or 5 episodes in now on Westworld. You'll see him in there in the very few episodes going in the first 1 or 2 episodes there, where he starts using that app and basically going out to commit these petty crimes to get paid through credits. I saw all of them, J Street. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe me and you are watching 2 different Westworlds, but it's the most recent season. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. All right. Where was I here? Body activity data may be generated based on the sense body activity data may be generated based upon the sense body activity of the user. The cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency to those who use body active data is verified. So they kind of try to mix you up with all these words, people, pretty much, but it's pretty much saying to get your cryptocurrency, you're going to have to do X, Y, and Z as a task. And if you don't accomplish that, you're not going to get your golden token. And you're actually going to get penalized if you don't get that. But the ones who do you're going to be rewarded, you know? And by rewarded, it's going to be the ability to live to the next day. That's what this is pretty much breaking down to, guys. It's and this is another way they're going to get you, because if you're not hooked up to the system, they're just going to, because they already got like an AI system for you hooked up in the crypto world. So that's why they're going to make it so convenient for people. They'll be like, through Facebook and Google and your bank accounts, we already have an AI or an avatar for you for your for all of your financial records already hooked up. So why not just sign in, get the tattoo? But what they're going to do is people who don't sign up for this, every day they don't sign up, they're going to penalize them with X amount of money, X amount of money, X amount of money. And then it's going to end up either being some sort of jail time or a, what would you call it there? Not a concentration camp, but pretty much a, wow, I had this word up my head earlier. A working camp? Is that a word? Wow, why can't I think of this right now?
A work labor camp?
A labor camp, exactly. Yeah. They're going to send you to either well, it's going to be a death camp in reality, but they're going to put you in jail, or they're just going to put you to a labor camp so you can pay off your dues. And the labor camps are probably going to be owned by FEMA or China, so you better watch out for that, because you ain't coming out of there. I'll tell you that. And that's pretty much where all of us are going to get sent to, whoever, makes it through the second seal. If you make it through the second seal and they say, hey, this is the new world system, hook up this, hook up that, get access to your money, and every day you don't, you get fined, you lose credits. And eventually, once you have enough credit or, enough credits lost, too much in the red, they're going to find a way to exterminate you or make you go work it off for a year in a camp.
Yeah. And Steve, I just sent you a video about the electronic tattoos and where they've come up with the ideas of what they're going to use that for. And there's actually one of these talks. I forget. I can't find. The lady has short brown hair. She's going on and on about the electronic tattoo verification ID, that tattoo. And she tries to make it act like
You muted yourself.
Did you hear anything I said?
Nope, not a word.
Sorry. I sent you a video about the electronic tattoos and how they can read like your medical history and stuff like that. The electronic tattoos are going to actually embed into your skin. It's not just some sticker with electronics going through it that's going to stick on your skin. But it shows how they could use it medically. But there's actually a video out of a lady with short brown hair who talks about it like a TED Talk or something, where she goes on and on about the electronic identification tattoos, which is one step away from them actually embedding something under your skin like a chip. But still, this tattoo has the ability to reach into your skin to a certain level and take hold of your cells, and it embeds itself.
I'll get that up in a second. This is just crazy. Look at all this shit you got to do to get your awarded cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah, you got to jump through all kinds of fiery hoops of hell to get your shit.
It's like it looks like they provide you a task. They sense the user body activity, produce vectors, whatever that means. Generate hash. That's cool. I wish it was real hash.
Right.
Receive data body vectors. Vectors have desirable mathematical property. Yeah, I bet they do.
Verify that it's you. They have to put you in a certain spot that say it's familiar, or read your body in a certain way. Like, I guess somebody could chop somebody's arm off and be trying to use their chip or something. I don't know, but it's just things that they're going to make you do to, like right now, to verify a cryptocurrency, if you're buying it or selling it, you have to have a picture, you have to have your camera right here, you have to show all this stuff and scan all this stuff through your phone in an app to get into your digital wallet that way. But now all that will be within you, and you will have to do all this stuff they want you to do.
Well, another word they threw in there, have desirable mathematical properties. So let's say that remember, what was that show, Black Mirror, where they had the Chinese social credit system prediction from like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I forget. So they had system or star ratings for citizens. So let's say they give you a task and you're a 2 out of 5 star person. You could complete the task entirely, but since you're not desirable, the mathematical properties are going to deduct, a ration of that and give you the 2-star reward rather than the 5-star reward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they're going to keep the classes separated.
It's the same as the credit system we have right now, except this is going to be on a social level. Right now, even to get certain jobs, they look at your credit. Like, why would you have to look at my credit in order to determine if you want me to work in your store? Well, if you have bad credit, then you're a bad person and you must be more apt to steal stuff because, look, your credit's shitty. Obviously, you have no money. You can't fix your credit. So we have to watch out for people like you. So they've already looked into that as a way to like social score your social scoring.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't get a car without good credit, You got to be a desirable person. That's where everyone's lost. Everyone's trying to get a house. Everyone's trying to save up. They want the new shiny things. They want to have perfect credit. They want the 401k to be great.
Yeah.
That's not what this world's about, people. If that's what your priorities are, then you're misinformed on what reality really is.
Yeah. There are jobs out there that they'll do a background check on you and check your credit history. And it's like, and certain jobs, it's whatever, but why would they even do that? Like, what's that have to do with anything? Who knows? Maybe you fell on bad times at one point and, they don't see that. They only see the ones and zeros. So it's bringing you down to a number. It's not you. It's not human. It's not the experience that you went through. Maybe you went through a bad divorce. Your credit went to shit, or you were out of work for a long time and for whatever reason and things got behind. I mean, you sneeze the wrong way, now your credit score goes down. You know what I mean? It's like you make one late payment or something, they jack off 20 points and everybody's trying to get that number up and stuff. And it's ridiculous. I gave up on that a long time ago.
All right. I don't know this channel, so I'm going to speed this up.
Okay. What's the title of it? It's
Electronic Tattoos, Science of Innovation. Nice. I'm just going to throw the link in the chat real quick. Copy. Oh, there's everyone times 75. There we go. So that's in the chat, guys. That's what we're checking out right now. I'm going to hit play, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I should make it full screen, huh? There we go. Yeah.
From MRIs to EKGs, sonograms to scanners, medical technology allows doctors to monitor vital information about the inner workings of the human body. Imagine if some of these machines could be made so thin, light, and portable that they could be attached right to the surface of your skin and go wherever you go.
There's some very sophisticated device functionality sitting on my skin now.
2 NSF-funded innovators have done just that by engineering something called an electronic tattoo, a microelectronic health monitor that has the potential to revolutionize the field of healthcare technology.
The electronic has always been rigid. To make electronic flexible, that's quite a challenge.
The path taken by John Rogers and Hyun-Gong Huang to develop the electronic tattoo is an example of how collaboration is often a key or critical part of the innovation process.
So it's just showing you how there's an American-Chinese partnership behind the initial plans of this anyways, so nice.
Yeah. It all started in 2005 when both men worked at the University of Illinois at Urbana.
What happened in 2005?
Huh?
A lot of things happened in 2005. That Chinese prime minister or defense minister gave that speech about cleaning up America and using some sort of a thing like that's happening now to do it.
I think that's the year George Bush referred to the Constitution as a piece of paper.
Oh, a goddamn piece of paper. Excuse me.
to stop by a lecture Rogers was giving on campus.
And we started talking, and we find John's work very fascinating, and John find my work on mechanics useful. So naturally, the two of us evolve and work together.
At the time of their first encounter, Rogers, a material scientist and electrical engineer, was looking for new ways to use electronic circuits formed on the surface of silicon. Silicon is a natural semiconductor that has electrical properties between that of a conductor, a material in which an electrical charge can flow freely, and an insulator, a material that doesn't conduct an electrical charge at all.
So real quick, that's exactly what Elon Musk Neuralink brain chip is made of, silicone. And where do all these weird things come out of? Well, Silicon Valley. Just saying.
Semiconductors are the heart of most electronics today.
So at a very simple level, you can use a semiconductor like silicon as a switching element to turn electricity off or on.
Huang, a mechanical
engineer, you offer on too once you have it in you.
Say, yeah, if you're susceptible to the mark here and you take it, once you're deemed undesirable, they'll let it be known that you're undesirable, and you better start complying because they're just gonna keep zapping you. Look at this weird shit. What is that?
Dude, I don't know. Arms, I don't know.
God.
Northwestern University specializes in the mechanics of curvilinear materials, which have surfaces that are wavy.
Curvilinear surface means it's a surface that's not flat. That's not the, for example,
surfaces that Northwestern University specializes in the mechanics of.
Oh, I thought it was a swastika.
There's probably something embedded in there.
Oh yeah, well it's the Windows logo, you know.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Materials, which have surfaces that are wavy.
Curvilinear surface means it's a surface that's not flat. That's not the, for example, my hat. The surface is curvilinear.
By combining their fields of expertise to hatch the initial idea of the tattoo, they set out to manufacture a prototype, something that has taken about 7 years and multiple breakthroughs to produce.
One of the key things is to make electronics as flexible as possible that can follow the scheme morphology.
The first breakthrough happened when they figured out how to slice off the surface layer of a silicon wafer. This new technique resulted in silicon that could bend, just like this single sheet of paper. Next, they discovered how to make silicon elastic, allowing it to be either flat or wavy in shape.
Suddenly you have a form of silicon that can bend, it can stretch, it can deform, it can coat and conform to curvilinear shapes, very much like biological tissues.
Even though it is called a tattoo, there is no need to pierce or puncture the skin. Instead, the device sticks on.
So what we can do then is we can take this device, laminate it on the skin, almost like a children's temporary transfer tattoo.
To figure out how to engineer this, Rogers and Huang looked to nature, noting how easily lizards stick to walls.
Like a gecko and others.
Of course, they gotta go bring it all reptilian, you know.
Easily attached to a wall and easily let go. So for us, we want to borrow some of that idea and to make the electronic not using glue to have strong adhesion with the skin.
Once attached, it can wirelessly detect electrical signals from inside the body, such as those given off by cells within the heart that cause it to contract and pump blood through its 4 chambers.
This particular device is powered inductively. So there's a coil here. I can bring a wireless power supply in proximity to this device and deliver power to it through the air.
Rogers and
So that's why I got all the 5G towers up.
Yep, Lucifer's the prince of the air.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing with the whole 5G thing, you know, I know this is a little unrelated, but I forgot to mention this earlier because it ran my mind, but the whole social distancing thing is working perfect because with the 5G going up and the new surveillance grid going up, it's going to be a lot easier to pinpoint people if everyone is 6 feet apart. And with the new 5G technology, your GPS on your phone right now with 4G, it's within 10 feet. With the new 5G, it'll be within 1/10 of an inch. So they got you, and then they're gonna really get you.
Huang filed at least 10 different patent applications with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to protect their invention before commercializing it.
Nice.
Patents allow inventors to acquire what are known as intellectual property rights to their inventions for limited periods of time.
The intellectual property is absolutely crucial. If that's not done carefully and thoughtfully, and if you don't really have distinctively new ideas that are well separated from things that people have tried in the past, it won't be viable. You won't be able to commercialize it.
A startup company called MC10 has licensed them multiple patents and patent applications and is developing a new generation of flexible healthcare devices.
While doing mechanics work, I never thought that I would have so much interaction with electrical engineers or material scientists. But now it's really at the interface we create new devices that never existed before.
Innovation brought to life by a unique and long-lasting collaboration that has the potential to stretch the limits of modern healthcare technology.
They always have some wonderful reason to do all this. You know, what they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah, something like that.
So I just sent you another little clip. We can play it whenever you want, but it is literally what it looks like through the cameras in China of the social crediting and the ones and zeros over people's heads and stuff as they're walking around doing their daily business.
Yeah, let me get that
There's
brought
a
up.
reason why all these cameras are up everywhere. There's a reason why they're all super high definition cameras, and they have they're hooked up to the cloud, to the system. They're tracking and tracing everything, everybody.
All right. I think I got it. Oh, shit. I just lost it. Give me a second. There we go.
Yeah, the title of it is Chinese Ranks Good and Bad Citizens with Social Credit System.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm going to hit play. You see that?
Yeah.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good, around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it. And anyway, we don't have a choice. But in an effort to keep...
We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
Right.
Wow.
Look at
How long
these.
ago they're saying that here?
Yeah. Damn, look at these weird fucks. I'm not making fun of Chinese people, but are these even real people?
Right? They look like mannequins.
I'm saying.
System a step further in 2020.
This one definitely. This guy might be a human. This one's on the fence.
Very, very robotic gestures.
This guy here, I don't know, dude. Look at that.
It's aggregating data gathered by banks.
I don't know. This guy might be fake now. I don't know. Look at that. This is so weird.
Private companies and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. A financial
A
situation.
moral society for the people who are running it are immoral.
Right. That's like saying we're going to bring up the Christian world order, but in reality, it's the Luciferian world order, you know? What a bunch of morons, man.
Behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no.
There you go. That'll be me right over there. I'll have a nice 75 score. Can't wait for that. Oh, wait. I ain't getting in this system, bitch.
That's
right. Raising the party or giving blood increases your social
Wow, giving blood, getting your shots makes you a good person. Ain't that fucking nice?
credit. Xiao Wen Wang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home.
The high-definition cameras.
Dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account.
We can't have that happen.
Innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wen Wang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother.
Really, buying cigarettes gonna put you down. That's why they've been banning vapes. They telling menthol cigarettes is going out. That's because they ain't got no room for cigarettes in the NWO. It sounds like that sucks, man.
So everything you do, like they're going to judge you. Like, okay, they're saying, oh, she's buying diapers or something for her kids. She's a good person. She's a good mom. But oh, she's over here buying cigarettes. Now she's a bad person. We have to deduct this. So there's some sort of AI out there watching everything you do and judging you on that. It's constant judgment.
And that's what they fail to mention in all these fucking videos. It's not, how many people are in China? Like 1 billion, right? You would need 1 billion people to be watching a monitor to track them and socially credit them in live time. In live time. They're not doing that. Like you said, yeah, they got it hooked up to some D wave, some China wave, whatever you want to call it. It's hooked up to that.
When you're dealing with billions of people, you got to go on a quantum level. So it can be everywhere, all up and down, sideways and everything all the time.
Absolutely.
Beer could indicate alcoholism. Should be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiao and Wong, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
You get benefits for being good. You get half price on the bus.
I was saying, so like if you're a 2-star person per se, you
ain't even allowed on the bus.
Well, no. I'm saying if you're a 2-star person, they give you a set amount of tasks throughout the day. And even though you did the same amount of tasks, the same way the 5-star person did it, your reward will be less because you're already on the shit end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a world anyone wants to live in? I won't be there. So y'all let me know how it works out. I ain't going to be there.
That's right.
All public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names
rights.
Trustworthy.
Right. God-given rights, not Chinese-given rights. They lose rights. What's right about that? There's nothing. That's all wrong.
For going to a lower end school. God forbid you're born in the hood,
And then they show you on camera on the big screens. Look out for these non-citizens or these bad people. Stay away from them because if you would go anywhere within 6 feet of these people, you'll get some points deducted as well.
Absolutely. That's what happened in that Black Mirror show, that one episode. Every time that someone made an interaction with this chick who had like a 1-star score, their scores would go down.
Well, that's
or
right there, isn't it?
Or if someone walked up to them, because you could score like your person, like you walk by someone, be like, oh, they look good, let me give them a 4 real quick. Or you walk by someone, be like, oh, these people look dicey, I'm gonna give them a 1. If you give someone who has, let's say someone has a 1-star and you're a 5-star, if you give them a 5-star, they take part of your stars down because you're supporting a loser in society, on that spectrum. They don't want you associating with them. They want the 1-stars with the 1-stars, the 2-stars.
Right.
They want to separate this. It's more of a control and divide system.
Yeah, and also what China's doing by putting these people up on the big screen. Imagine this being like the center of New York City where all those electronic boards are, and you start seeing your face running across it because you're down to 1 or 2 stars, and you are on a list of some sort, and everybody needs to watch out for you for some reason or another. What the ultimate humiliation and shaming people.
That's what they're already doing that in China. Like this, I know this is just one example, but I've seen videos where you're walking down the street and there's just like a Times Square of Hong Kong, and it's just lit up with people who are undesirable. Watch out for these people, So that's already a reality, and we'll be on those billboards. Don't worry. I'm gonna get my smile ready for that.
Plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
You see this? They even put their addresses across big screens. I mean, it's utter humiliation. Go back to tiny. Let's listen to it again. Okay.
Considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
Untrustworthy. Stay away from these people. And oh, by the way, here's their address. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, that's the new system.
Yeah, and it's coming to a billboard near you guys if you take this shit.
Exactly.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Condemned!
How brainwashed these people are. It's crazy.
The verbiage that they're using, untrustworthy, undesirables, condemned. And you showed the balance scales For me, that's judgment, because in Egyptian terms, you would have the feather of judgment on one scale, and you would weigh your heart on the other scale. If you were light of heart, the scales would balance because the feather is very light. If you had a heavy heart because you had a lot of guilt and a lot of sin on you or whatever, or shit that you didn't get forgiven for or give forgiveness for, it would be weighed down. You'd have a heavy heart and you would be sent to, the underworld. So when I saw that symbol of the scales, and now you're hearing this, which is constant 24/7 judgment of the scales. And they use that in courts, the scales for judgment. That seems to be, the future is nothing but constant judgment and humiliation in order to get people to be a certain way of how they want them. I mean, these people are completely brainwashed, and they are the brainchild for what they want to roll out onto the rest of the plane.
Yep, absolutely.
So they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens.
Nice.
Those whose ratings have dropped to 0.
Wow, they got a website for bad people.
And China said that we and everybody else needs to adopt their measures on quarantine. We and the rest of the world need to adopt their measures on social crediting, social scoring, and all this stuff like that. We're moving into this digital age, and they're way ahead of us on this.
Do you think the U.S. funded the social credit system rollout?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy,
why our
man.
whole economy is being taken down right now. China will not support our debt anymore. They own us. We have to do what they say. They're going to roll this out, and they're going to want you to have a chip. They're all about technology.
Yeah, absolutely.
On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them,
Exactly. So real quick, they said they have 23 million people on the bad list to date. They failed. I don't know if they're going to mention this in the rest of this, but they haven't mentioned yet that due to the social credit system that went up last year, to date they've imprisoned. I'm sure it's much higher now due to the coronavirus violations and shit. But before this whole plandemic broke out, they already imprisoned 1 million people. That's a tenth of their population.
And that's nothing to them. They don't care about that.
It's a 100th. I'm sorry, a 100th of their population.
And those people aren't getting out of jail anytime soon. They're once they're there, and then it's whatever they decide to do with you. If they decide to take you off onto a workforce somewhere out in fucking bumfuck nowhere, China, backwoods, whatever, you're out there, and you don't see your family, you don't get visitors. This is just like what the Patriot Act would be for us. They can take you and detain you for as much as they want without any, judicial part to it. You don't get your trial or nothing. They can just hold you indefinitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. He only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
There you go.
So no prior warning. You just pack your shit. You're all excited to go. And then it's like, what? I can't go. That's right. See ya, turn around. The machine, the AI doesn't want to hear your story. They don't want to know that, well, shit went sideways last week and I got in an argument with my wife and, the flat tire on the car, all this other stuff. No, it's all the numbers. Your numbers went down. You don't fucking go nowhere, bitch.
Exactly. And they're calling it the social credit system, but that's going to be what happens once you don't get the chip, you don't get the mark, you won't be able to go to the supermarket, you won't be able to go on trains, you won't be able to travel.
You can't say to the screen, I want to talk to your manager. This isn't right. There's a mistake here. It's
right,
the computer. That's it. It's cold. It's glass. It's fucking quartz crystal, whatever. It's nothing. And it's just like, this is what you have to deal with.
Right. And once they pretty much eliminate the entire United States workforce more than they already have now, it's going to be all replaced with autonomic or AI technology, whether it's just like Gollum dummies where you sign in from your house with a virtual reality goggles brought to you by Microsoft, whether it's that and then you take control over that and scan people out at Big Y or Stop and Shop all day at the register, or if it's just a self-automated program. and then if you run into an issue, where's the manager? Well, the manager is a AI quantum computer in the back. I'm sure it'll have a nice couple of words for you, but it'll just tell you you can't buy, and then the police will come and escort you accordingly.
Yeah, if anybody out there if they come in with this and people go for it and people let them cross this next line, which I'm not letting them cross, you're done. There's no way that you can ever go back from this, and they can update and re-implant and all this other shit to you, because once the chip's in you, what do you think? They're going to have a doctor come over and shoot you with a needle to calm your ass down and all this stuff? No, they're just going to pick out their little tablet and they're like, okay, his chip's this. Let's bring down the psycho in him right now because he's freaking out. We're going to make them all docile and lip so we can do whatever we want with them and implant them again over here and all this stuff. That's how they did it in Westworld with their robots. Or also in Demolition Man, where they can update themselves, or they could bring up the behavioral measures on that person, get them real agitated, or bring them down to a docile state.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
You don't look happy.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Yu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedoms, and all of us will live with restrictions of one kind or another.
After our meeting, Yu Hu learned that his name had been removed from the blacklist, but he still has a long way to go if he doesn't want to languish at the bottom of the social credit hierarchy.
Wow.
And where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? China's massive. Where are they going to walk out of there? Where are they going to go? Russia? I mean, where are people going to go? We were the last bastion of hope here in America, and it's not looking so good, because right now is the time where they expect and they will agitate people enough to stand up and start making a stand. But will they make the right stand, or will they just beg to have their slavery back? People right now are begging to have their slavery back. I want to be a good slave. I need to go to work and make money. Let's get this shit show on the road. But by the way, I'm not taking your vaccine, because that's what they're going to offer you to get back to your slavery.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to put a lot of people on this blacklist that they're talking about. You know, it's just so crazy. It's just so crazy. And the end game is control, but it's not just control. It's control from the inside of your body. They're gonna give you the biometric tattoo type deal. They're gonna implant that inside you. They give you the vaccine. They're gonna give you the Neuralink, and then
the Neuralink will link to your brain. And if you even think about a crime, if you even think about how fucked up this whole situation is, they're gonna know it. And that's where the thought crime comes in, and Minority Report and all that stuff like that, thought crime police, so there's all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just getting distracted over here. Someone keeps texting me, but it's just crazy, it's just so crazy. No one even knows about Elon Musk, brain chipping, biometric tattoos. That sounds like a TV show, no one knows about that. I bet no one in the world knows about fucking the 2020-060606 cryptocurrency system using body activity data.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what the China's using already now. This is how they work. They barely have any cash over there. Everything's their credit system. Also, besides it looking like living in complete and utter hell over there, how do you even begin to enjoy life living under those conditions, under that mental state of, literally a boot stomping on your free will? You have no free will at that point. And they're subject to everything. The sad part is that there's way more Chinese people than there are the people actually running them. And yeah, they have a shit ton of military, and they're all fucking brainwashed because they're brought up from birth to have this certain way of looking at things, and that they militarize. That's why they want a lot of boys born, so they can fill their military up. But these people are living in the utter hell. And that's coming here if we accept this. There's no turning back from it. It literally will take away your free will.
Yeah, that's the end game in all this, people. There's only one game in town. There's only one game in town, people. Flat Earth is cool. Mandela is cool. You know, it's all real. Chemtrails, solar simulators, you name it. Jade Helm. You know, it's all cool, but there's only one game in town, and that's to access control of your body, to get control of your soul. Because once you're hooked up to Neuralink, once you're hooked up to the biometric tattoo, which is gonna, you know, if you scan it, it's gonna tell you if you got a vaccine or not. I wonder what they'll need that for. Mandatory vaccine laws, which are legislations, but are going to turn into laws much sooner than later. And once that happens, people, it's going to, like the droid commercial, it's going to infuse your DNA. They can control you. And if you start acting out in their system, they'll make sure you feel it, like, straight up. And for the people who don't comply, who don't even want to take part of the system, I'm sure there's a fucking camp waiting for us somewhere. I can only imagine. You know, I could really only imagine.
China looks fucking scary. China scares the fuck out of me. And those people let so much go and took so much that they're at a place now where it's virtually impossible for them to turn around. Most of them probably are implanted and they just don't even know it. China is the ultimate social experiment and it's succeeding. They have 1 billion people on lockdown pretty much 24/7. Every move is tracked and traced, every little thing you do, and they're all logged into it. And if that type of scenario takes over the whole plane, life will just it's just going to be completely different. It's somewhere that I don't want to be in this world, and there's just literally no future after that. It's scary as fuck. China scares me. It does.
Yeah, I see. I don't give a shit about China because I see. This is how I see it. China ain't shit because at the end of the day, who I don't even know who the president of China is. Whoever's leading China right now has dinner, golf, tea time, whatever you want to call it, with Donald Trump, Queen of England, Putin. It don't matter what troops they bring in. It ain't gonna be fully them. You know, they're all on one team. It's all one team.
They want the whole plane to be on the same grid as China. So everything that they're doing to their population now, and their population is accepting it because, well, what choice do you have? And you heard the way those sheeple were talking. So they've this mindset that they have them in, and you know, for that to take hold across the plane and stuff. I think that's why they're positioning troops. They're getting ready because they know there's going to be a certain amount of people that aren't going to go for this. China took away 1 million people as soon as they introduced this whole thing, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Get off their back.
Yeah, in a year they imprisoned a million people, and then this happened. I'm sure there's 2 million in jail now because they're not social distancing or not wearing a mask or this, that, and the other thing. And like I said, people, so let's say they give you the opportunity to live if you say no to the mark. Every day that you say no to the mark, you'll get fined and fined and fined and fined to the point where they just make your status null and void and they throw you in a labor camp to quote unquote work it off. But in reality, we all know what those labor camps are going to be. Freemason, FEMA death camp. That's what that will be. Honestly, I'd much rather go there than take a chip and be a part of a reality where this is the transhumanist website. We've showed this plenty of times. This was set in like 2 or 3 years ago. All of this leads to the transhumanist Bill of Rights, which are already a real thing. Sentient entities, which are artificial entities, which is going to be you pretty soon, are entitled to universal rights, ending voluntary suffering, making personhood improvements, and achieving infinite lifespans via science and technology. And it goes on to say in Article number 6, involuntary aging shall be classified as a disease. Imagine that.
Yeah.
It's right where we are.
Who the hell would want to extend their life in this hellhole? Oh, men will seek death, but it will flee them. You know what I'm saying? This is what it reminds me of. Also, I noticed a ceiling fan man said he had an idea in here, and then he said 2 seconds if I can call you. I don't know if you can call me, ceiling fan man. Do you have my number? Oh, he meant the stream. I guess, well, we don't have any phones hooked up. That would be up to Steve to let you in on the StreamYard. Or I guess I could send it to him. He has an idea or a thought on this whole topic that we're talking about.
Yeah, I got his email. If you can do it quicker, because I have to go like looking for his email. But if you can get it to him quicker, yeah.
I think I can get it pretty quick. So
Yeah, it's just so crazy. And like how let me give people some definitive proof that this entire world we live in is 100% demonic. Check this out, people. This is called a fallen angel stock list. Imagine that.
What?
A fallen angel is a stock that used to be strong, hence the word angel, but has since fallen out of favor with its investors. Imagine that. So let's say Walmart just goes down 1,000 points. That would be a fallen angel.
Ceiling fan man, I just emailed you the link for StreamYard.
Look at this. What is a fallen angel? A fallen angel in the investing world is a bond that was initially given a investment grade rating, but has since been reduced to junk bond status. The downgrade.
Why do they call it fallen angel? I mean, really?
You know why?
I mean, it's so in your face.
Yep. Look at this. On August 9th, 2020. Well, that hasn't happened yet. The Federal Reserve have announced monetary policy measures that are aimed at increasing liquidity in corporate bond markets, including extending and purchasing of corporate bonds that have lost their investment grade ratings due in part to the economic slowdown brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. Those fallen angels include companies like Ford and Continental Resources. Nice.
Yeah, that's not good.
He was here yet, but no, he's not down backstage. But yeah, this is all no bueno. I just heard this last night. I had to go research it, and it pops right up. So if you're like a Fortune 500 company and your stocks plummet, that's a fallen angel. Imagine that. Imagine that. That's so crazy.
But they're
Fallen
looking at us
angels.
like stocks and bonds. If your value goes up, your value goes down. Your credits go up, your credit goes down. You're a good citizen, you're a bad citizen. You buy beer, you're bad. You buy water, you're good. You know, they're fluoridated water, by the way.
Yeah, it's crazy. Uh-oh. Here's the man.
Yeah, turn it down. Hello?
What's
Hi.
up, buddy?
Hey,
How are you?
doing good. Hey, I got to turn that TV up front there. So, hey, man, thank you for letting me get on here.
No
First
problem.
of all, you guys cracked me the fuck up. Oh, excuse me. It's late, and you know what? I don't have to work anymore. So I live
Right.
in Washington. You do the math. That's it. Okay. So here's the thing. You guys crack me up on some of the most horrific things, and so thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. We love you.
It's a wonderful thing. Here's the thing. I was just discussing the same thing, and however this works, we all start using the same energy because we all start thinking about the same things. And you just brought up something that I was just talking to my wife about. When you guys were talking about this chip that they put in, you know, we all know it's the mark of the beast. And I keep going through this. I know how this all works now because Satan's allowed to mess with us. I mean, just read Job. You can understand it. But the only person that checks in and checks you out is God. Okay? So the whole reason we're going through this is we're idiots. All through the Bible, we keep forgetting he exists. and we cry out because we're enslaved, and he rescues us, and then we forget him, and then you hit repeat, right?
Yeah.
And they tell you that in school, even, if you forget history, you're destined to repeat it. Well, throughout the
Absolutely.
Bible, it used to piss me off. I kept saying, how can we keep forgetting? Well, guess what? Here we are. Okay.
Yeah.
And everyone talks about Mystery Babylon. There's not much of a mystery. Okay. We're responsible for what? All of the child trafficking, all the CIA ops. We're responsible for everything in the beast system. So I'm looking at this. I mean, I've been working on a video for a couple of days, and it's just taken forever. Things keep crashing. Obviously, I'm not supposed to put this out, but whatever. I'll call you guys.
Mhm.
The thing is what's happening right now. It's all written out, and whether you're religious or not, man, pick up that Bible and read it, because you want to know what's going on, because the enemy's using it. They're reading it, and here's the deal: they read the same book. The book tells them they lose. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to flip this around. I've been listening to this James True. My wife turned him on to me. This he's pretty phenomenal. It's funny. They're
Like him.
friends on Twitter.
I like him. He's good.
He follows us, or her. I don't know him. She knows him. It's funny. So he's like, the dude trips me out, and then he'll do some things that are just like, hey, you know what you should do? You should dig a hole, strip naked, and bury yourselves. Like, whoa, this guy's really out there. But he really says some really interesting things. Like, if this prana exists, which I believe it does, this energy that Tesla talked about or stuff, it's out there, right? And we know they're juicing it up, right? They've been doing freaking rituals for like the last decades. And this is it, man. They're like, this thing's jacked, right? They're going for NWO. We know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that means that energy's there for us too, man.
Yeah, I said that
it works for the
beginning,
same size, right?
Yeah, I said in the beginning, they're, even with these alignments with the stars and everything lining up, these are high energy times. They'll do rituals on ley lines that intersect. The intersecting nodes are high energy points, and they use this energy like you would use nitrous in a car to give it that extra boost of energy to manifest that intention and bring it forth and manifest what they're trying to accomplish. And we can do the same. It's like a knife. You can cut carrots with a knife, cut it up, or you could kill a man with a knife, but that doesn't make the knife itself bad.
What does God say he's going to use to do all this? His tongue, man. Like his sword comes out of his mouth and stuff. Everything we think about, it's like, it's not always like exactly, what do you call that? Where it could be like metaphysical, or it could be, metaphorical, whatever, because there's so many things that are happening, like the white horses of the apocalypse came in and they were buses. I mean, they read the same book, so they're like, hey, we got to make these things happen. And just because it happened a different way than we were expecting doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So that's the thing. If they're jacking up this prana right now, let's use it against him. He says it many times in the Bible. You send something at me, recompense it how many times? Like 10 times on top of you. So I'm just turning it around. So the B system's telling me I gotta stay at home. Okay, fine. So we're enjoying our family. We're doing things around the house, and we're celebrating God, and taking time to like read the Bible and do whatever you got to do to plant seeds and make yourself so you'll be self-sufficient. Meet your neighbors. Make sure that you've got a connection with people, because what I see is happening is like the end of the movie Godzilla, and I put it in one of my videos, and it was one of my crazier ones, but it's like the Godzilla foot comes down, and you think he's going to crush this reporter, and his foot comes right down on top of him, but when he lifts up, the guy was fine because he's between the toes. And that's how I see the B system. Like, they're going to try to take down as much as they can with everybody, right? They're gonna try to bring that all down, and when they're done, they're gonna move on, and it's gonna be, they'll just be like, whatever, shut the power on. They'll walk away because Babylon's supposed to fall. So what if it falls? God doesn't say he's gonna destroy the earth. He created the earth. It's one of his creations. He'll clean it up. He's done it before, when he washed it over with the flood. He didn't destroy the earth. He destroyed all the, crap on it. So he's going to do it again. That doesn't mean that we all die necessarily, a horrible death in a FEMA camp. I don't know. But all I know is the more I think about those things, I feed the beast, and I don't want to do that. So I turn it around. Do they have the capabilities of do all these things and drive my down my driveway with a tank and blow a hole in my house? Absolutely. I know that. I understand that. I've seen all the videos. I've seen all the tanks. I see what's going on. Am I going to put fear in it? Absolutely not. Why? The thing he says more than anything in the Bible, fear nothing but me. All right, I can deal with that. Right? I don't know how all our stories end, but I know in the end we're all going to meet. I just know it, because you can't give this much of yourself. He sees what your works are doing. Keep it up. Don't give up, man. Even if you just reach one person, it's that mustard seed that we're all trying to do.
Exactly. I totally agree. I also think that sometimes that, we're sent here to have a certain experience. And in order to know love and to choose love, you have to know what hate is. Okay. You won't actually know love unless you have this experience. So you have a point of reference. And that's what we come here to experience, or to choose love over fear. And, the playing field here is all based on fear. It's fear based. You could fall and get hurt. You'd be fearing that, oh my gosh, if I do this and I get hurt, there's nowhere that I can go to get help to get, fix my leg if it's broken or something. They have us fearing everything, and that's how they play the game down here with us. And I think that this whole scenario plays over and over again, like some sort of a figure eight, like the infinity thing. You come in, you experience, you leave out. And, what you do here helps determine where you're going after here. And if you need to go further on your journey, your spiritual journey of learning these different things or whatever. But I feel like this whole thing that's playing out on this stage played out before, and maybe it'll play out again, maybe it won't, but maybe we're in the last act now. But it seems to have gone on and on and on and on, and now we're at the pinnacle.
Right. Now, it's totally that quickening, though, because I feel that I'm getting stronger every day, and I'm able to do more and more things.
I'm excited about it. I'm so glad. And people are begging for their slavery back. It's like, let's just get back to normal.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you want to go back to being a slave? This is the time when we need to stand up and really put our hands out there and say, no, I don't want to go back to normal. Normal sucked. And by the way, I'm not taking your vaccine. And oh, by the way, why don't you all get out of your fucking high places? Because we're not listening to you jackwagons anymore. But no, people are already getting slavery back.
That leap of faith is the hardest thing. You're right, because it's like, if you can get off of that beast system, it's incredible. And all the people that are at home right now that are, I know a lot of people that are hurting right now and worried because of money, but at the same time, they're at home with their family and spending time with their kids and stuff, what they never would have been able to do. I know someone that had a brand new baby that would not have seen all of these every day of his life in the first few moments of his life because he would have been at work. So turn it around, let's not focus on the bad things that they're sending our way, because this isn't God's plan. It's not like he's not watching. He sees what's going on. And if you're watching out for him and he knows your name, he says he's got you. So let's turn it around. Let's get rid of the fear. And the whole reason I was calling, and I didn't mean to take over your show. My wife says I do this, but that chip. So you put the chip in you, and that's always troubled me. I'd be like, hey, mark of the beast. So that's it. Now you're damned to hell. That doesn't make sense because you're still being deceived. So here's the way I look at it. What you were saying, you put the chip in. Yeah, that's the mark of the beast. But I don't believe it's eternal damnation at that point. What it is they have complete control of you from there on out.
There's
and
no
I've always
free will.
wondered this part of the Bible, and you just brought it up after we talked about it like 10 seconds ago. The part where it says, that people will be in pain, like from scorpions and stuff, and they want death and they can't. And can't that, again, metaphorically, it's that freaking chip. And they have a way of doing that little scorpion swirl that they did on Westworld when they wanted to adjust you. And that's it. And you're alive inside that, But since you have complete no control of your body anymore, you've given your free will away, they can torment you and you will want to die and you won't be able to because only God can check you out. And I was like, boom, that's exactly it. I think that's what that is. But
Yeah.
what do I know?
Yeah, because we're trying to get out of here. They're trying to keep us here.
Well, yeah. Just to expand on that a little further, Ceiling Fan, is so let's say the ones who never got a chance to experience, the light, the true truth of everything, and they get hit with the mark, right? So in the Bible, it talks about the first death and the second death during Revelations. We will most likely partake in the first death. People who saw everything for what it was, and we get brought up, judged right up in there, just 1-2, no punch, no pain, just straight up. But it's the people who never saw the deception for what it was or never had the chance to see it who will get a chance, and hopefully, because when Jesus comes back, there's a 1,000-year reign for a reason, because over those 1,000 years he is unveiling all of the deception and secrets that brought mankind down for eternity. He's going to tell you exactly what happened, exactly where the deception was, who was about it. But if you decide to still serve against the Lord in those times, second death, lake of fire, just like that. So he'll unveil everything that, why they took the mark, why it was bad, this, that, and the other thing. But we're still going to have free will at that point. You can choose to go back in that system, worship Lucifer and be anti-God, or you can understand what is being, revealed in front of your eyes and be saved during the second resurrection. Or, like I said, you can just partake in the second death and lake of fire.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And the whole other thing is, I don't know everyone's path. I think we're all in the same similar path, but we each have our own part. And so, yeah, maybe some of us might end up doing like the old saints did, and they lost how many pounds is the head? What was that? 16 pounds? Some BS movie that Will Smith did.
Oh,
But
yeah. 7 pounds. Something like that.
7. Yeah, of course. So anyways, maybe, I don't know. But then there's others of us that are like building a farm, and I'm going to have food for people besides just me and my family, and we'll have eggs, and we're getting off the system, and we're not alone. There's a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
I watch Owen Benjamin.
That's how it is around here.
What's that?
That's how it is around here. I know people who have chickens. I've been offered eggs numerous times. I love having the eggs from their free range chickens and stuff. Also, I know people who have their own cattle. I've been seeing more and more people with goats and sheep and cows on their property and stuff that weren't there before. So they've always been this way here in Alabama. They're really into growing their own stuff and everything. And so I'm lucky that I live in an area like this. And but the people in the inner cities and stuff, they rely so much on the system. That's why they've made the large cities so attractive and wanted to get everybody into these large cities, because then they really got you. Where are you going to go?
Because that's the thing. We were watching Owen Benjamin as he's building his farm. That's why I was making a joke about him, and because we're doing the similar thing, so it was kind of funny, but to me, if you can have the opportunity to do that, make sure, like you do, know some people that are going to do that. Because I truly believe, as it says many times in the Bible, if he knows you, he's got you, and not to worry. Because whatever this first wave of whatever this is coming, I don't believe it's for us, because it's for the people to wake up and realize he exists. We're there. It's almost like he's like, hey, you know what? Just be quiet a second. I'm not talking to you right now. That's the way I feel about it. Because we wouldn't be building this, whatever it is we've been doing for the last, 3 years, for nothing. I don't think it just smokes out like soon. I think we're here for a reason. And I think you guys are there for a reason. And I think that you're on the air talking to people. And even if you feel like, my God, no one's listening, there's that one new person that turns it on and goes, whoa, and that's it, and that's why we're here, and keep doing as long as they allow YouTube on. Are they listening? Absolutely. Do they care about us? What do we make up? 1% if we're lucky.
They've definitely factored us into their equation one way or another. They got every angle covered, and
sure.
Yeah, I
And,
mean, so
and we give them just as much information, but what else are we going to do? We need to talk to each other.
I have nothing to hide. They
Me
know where I
neither.
stand as far as their new world order goes. I have nothing to hide. And even if I did have something to hide, I would still be out here, because you're allowed to have your own personal matters going on. You know what I mean? That's part of having not keeping secrets, but to have some semblance of your own memory and what you've done and what you're doing, that everybody doesn't need to know your whole life. You're not going to put it all out there, but at the same time, I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm totally against their agenda, and I'm going to expose them at every turn. And if somebody did bring up something from my past, I would have no problem recognizing it and dealing with it. It's not like I'm ashamed of my past. Everything I've done in my past, bad or good, has brought me to where I am right now, sitting here in front of this camera talking to you lovely people. So,
and everybody needs to check their phone and make sure their tracking's turned off. I know 3 different people that have gotten notice from Google saying, hey, here's all the places you visited in March. Wonder why they're doing that.
Because I have to have my location on. When I used to work, I had to have it on because I clocked in and out on my app on my phone and everything. And when you go look at your history, it shows everywhere you've been, everywhere you stopped, every road, everything. It's just like, wow.
We know we're using these, but you can also use it against them. Like, take, for instance, let's just go with a crazy scenario. Let's just say, for instance, a nameless person might have seen a helicopter fly by their property multiple times. That's just a crazy story. So let's just say that guy also has a really good camera, and he takes a photograph of the tail numbers and then looks it up and sees it's some company out of Texas, and then emails them just to kind of let them know, hey, wonder why you were coming by. So use the stuff against them. Don't put fear into it. If they're going to do that, say, hey, I'm watching you too.
Yeah, this is why we get hammered so much on Facebook and on YouTube, because we use their platforms against them. And I've always done that. I've never played games on Facebook. I've celebrated some family birthdays and different stuff like that, but I was always pumping out truth. And it wasn't until just recently when they started blocking stuff and putting people in Facebook jail and everything. Back in the day, you could post whatever the fuck you wanted. They didn't even care. But now we're getting to the point where they're really starting to, hammer that nail that sticks up. But I'm going to use their platforms to the very end.
They took our channel down, so there's that. And you know what? They want you to wear a mask. So the other day, we went down somewhere, and I wore a what do you call it? You can wear a bandana now. Isn't that funny? You used to see a guy in a bandana, you think he was an outlaw. Or,
3 months ago, you'd get arrested for walking into the store with a bandana on. Now they want you to. And then the other day, they threw a guy off of a bus because he had a bandana scarf and not. It's it's so confusing what they want you to do. One day it's this, you have to have this. The next day, it's this.
So I put a bandana and I put a big cowboy hat, and I was going to strap on a gun. My wife's like, okay, let's not push it. I figure if we're going to go Halloween, I might as well do the whole thing,
Get your chaps on and your cowboy boots.
It's what a crazy world. So, okay, well, I've talked too much. So,
we love you.
So, it's a great show. You guys just keep it up, man. I know it gets a bit much sometimes. It does. And I've told everyone that'll listen, if you're having trouble with the fear of it, get into the book of Psalms. It's funny. Most people don't read Psalms. I mean, I kind of skipped over it the first time I went through the Bible. It's like, I want to get to the meat and potatoes. I want to hear some guy talking. But you know what? It's exactly what you need right now. There's some books of Psalms in there that'll just tell you exactly what you need to calm yourself in this, because he talks about this is all coming to be, and don't be afraid of it, because it has to happen. He's got. Yeah. We don't want to go back to the beast system where everyone's living for work and Hollywood's raping. It's just like, no, this. Why do we want to go back to that? We know what the school systems do. We know it's all bad. The vaccine, it's all bad. So if the unveiling is bringing down the beast system, then let's mourn the people that are going to be hurting and hope they find their way in time. But let's not try to pump up the beast system that is coming down, because we're finding true connections to real people that are going to be there like they used to be before we decided to be lazy and turn everything into money. And that's all it is. You didn't want to grow your own crops, so you just make money and you give it to somebody that'll farm it for you. Well, now I got to do it myself. So anyways,
that's awesome. I'm glad you're doing that. I would love to, be able to get my hands in the dirt and eat what I grew and all that stuff and have that ability and not rely on the system whatsoever. That's the problem, is they have people relying on the system, and now they're begging for that system to come back and begging for their slavery back. So either way, it's either going to offer you this crazy crap up here, or they're going to send you back to the crap you just came from. Now we're in between. We're in limbo right now. Right now is when everybody needs to turn off their tail lights to their vision and start telling their children the truth, teaching them the truth, teaching them that the earth is flat and we've been lied to, that this place is not what they told us it is, and tell them about the Mandela effect, tell them about the true nature of our reality and how Jesus and God plays into all this. Forget all that crap that they teach you in school. Don't send your kids back to school, and everybody come together in little communities, in little clusters of communities, and then together from there we can network out and become one big community and block these people out somehow.
Yeah, because you know what?
With God on our side, you can't lose.
And I think we're on the pause button. It's like what he did before he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Because guess what? At the end of the day, above anything, God loves us. And so you don't want to hurt your kids, but you're going to have to, what do you call that? Discipline them. And so we're on the pause button. He's like, hey, wake up. Okay. Shit's going down. Figure this out, because I don't want this. Because it talks about multiple times whenever he has to do this, he weeps. Mm-hmm. That fucking blew me away. God weeps over us. Wow.
Yeah. Imagine that.
So this is our pause button, man. And we need to try to get as many people to say, hey, figure this shit out, because, he's going to pull Lot out and then that's it. So,
yeah.
But there I go. And I didn't even freaking read a Bible before a year ago. I was Jewish and they told me never to read the ending. So there you go. And look at me quote scripture.
Don't read the ending no matter what you do.
Yeah. What other book would they say that? Yeah, you're going to read Harry Potter halfway through and stick it out and guess the ending? No, you read the fucking book. So then I started wondering, why is everyone hiding?
If you read the ending, you'll know what they're going to do and it won't work.
Right. So I'm like, why does everyone hide this from me? You take it out of schools, you take it out of everywhere. Heck, when we tried to buy one for someone, you couldn't find it anywhere. You had to buy it, of course, on Amazon.
I just found 2 Bibles in the trash. Plus, I found my other Bible that I've been looking for with all my sticky notes in it. I finally found this. And this is the one.
I don't know if any of you guys saw that video I did, real quick one, about where you can and can't get this Nanny virus. Because, it's like you can, small hardware stores, it must be the space or something, because you can get it there. They're closed, but large ones like Home Depot, those are open, and Amazon's doing the best numbers of their life right after they close all the small businesses. So then they donate like whatever.
And stop right there.
80 cents of his net worth.
Nancy Pelosi and her husband invested into Amazon right before all this happened.
That's one I talk about my mom, the JFK thing. That and one other thing woke my mom, and it was Nancy Pelosi's boobs, because overnight they just got huge, and it's like the weirdest thing. So those 2 things red-pilled my mom on the Mandela effect. That's so funny. So,
wow.
Anyways.
I can't even believe they're wheeling that woman out. I mean, she just needs to be put away already.
You know what? And I agree. And we go over this too. And my wife and I talk about this a lot. And here's another thing, because I know exactly how Brian feels about Tom Hanks, and we all do. But at the end of the day, when you think about it, the teachings that you're supposed to use is like, look, that guy got totally deceived. He thought he was going to end up on the right side of things. he is going to be in the most worst situation I can't even imagine. And it's more than my heart can handle that someone's going to go through that, but he chose it. So rather than hate him, because I really want to hate him, I feel sorry for him, and I hope that I don't know. I just try not to think about that, but I don't hate him, because at the end of the day, who set him up? Same guy that set us up, Satan. So when I look at Tom Hanks and I get really mad, I think of Satan's face on him. And when I look at Meryl Streep, it's Satan. And when I look at any of these it's like Bono, and how he gives 2 cents of every dollar he gives him to charity, and the rest when I think of these people, I don't hate them. I see Satan's face in there, and I hate him. And I send it back.
A great way to
because
look
that's
at
what
it.
God teaches me. God teaches me to recompense it back on Satan. Because at the end of the day, Tom Hanks, Bill Gates, oh my God, it's almost, you want to throw up when you see him. But at the end of the day, that's not Bill Gates. He's just a puppet, just like Trump is and all the rest of them. We know that. So we actually don't hate Bill Gates. We hate the character that he's playing and the role that he's playing. But at the end of the day, that motherfucker back there is Satan. And get thee behind me, Satan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But listen, on that, guys, I actually have to get out of here. It's a little late.
Sorry, what happened to me? I'm going to go.
No, it's all good. But I'm kind of running over my time I had to hang out with you guys. So I'm gonna say goodnight. I love you guys. And Steve, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Glad to have you.
All right, guys, I'm out of here. Love you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, Steve.
All right. Love you too. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Looks like you just left with me. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Ceiling Fan Man's 100% right there, right on the money. And I didn't get a chance to comment on what he was talking about in the beginning, because we were talking about the cryptocurrency, the Neuralink, this, that, and the other thing. And apparently so is him and his wife. It's called God Seeks Man. He wants us all to be on the same, he wants us all to be, on the same wavelength. That we're frequency-based beings. God spoke the world into existence with the word. Probably did the same thing for us. So he's keeping us all in tune. We're all on, some sort of radio dial, and he's making sure we're all tuned into the same station. That's what he's doing. It's magical. It's awesome. I can't describe it, but it's his works, man. It's his works. And let me just do a quick recap real quick before we get out of here. Get a full screen. Hide that sumbitch. So for anyone who didn't know, giant stocks who fall are ironically called fallen angels. Imagine that. Imagine that. Investopedia. Yep, fallen angel. Can't beat that. What's been going on in the transhumanism world for the past 5 or 6 years? They have their own Bill of Rights, actually. One of them states all sentient entities to the universal right of all sentient entities are entitled to the universal rights of ending involuntary suffering, making personhood improvements, and achieving an infinite lifespan via science and technology. Then they go on to say all sentient entities, involuntary aging shall be classified as a disease. And what's going on right now? There's a disease, a pandemic going around. So anyone who doesn't get the brain chip, get the ID 2020, and grant yourself access to the cryptocurrency system that Microsoft patented just a week ago. And the patent number is 2020-666. Nice. You can't beat that. That's where it's all going, baby. And if you want a little teaser for yourself, just Google artificial intelligence technology, hit news, and you'll get DoD using artificial intelligence to detect hotspots. Nice. How AI is helping find a cure. Nice. Artificial intelligence developed to monitor social distancing. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All bad stuff, people. Terrible stuff. And I said it once, I'll say it again. This cryptocurrency using body activity data system, the mark will have a number, 666. It's right there, people. This right here could quite possibly be the mark of the beast. This is the patent website. Bill Gates. Microsoft. See what I'm saying? Bill Gates. Okay, let me just get out of here for a minute. Why can't I go back? That sucks. That sucks. Here, let me try this. Here you go. The ID 2020 certification mark. The mark. And you will have a number. And you can't buy, sell, or trade without the mark. Crazy stuff, people. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Just literally can't believe it sometimes. But that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Please like, share, and subscribe. Most importantly, God bless everyone. Be safe. Be strong in spirit. And if you don't know who God is, this is a good time to get right with him. And with all that being said, I'm going to get on out of here. I'll see you guys later.